rough night. I got robbed by platinum. And yeah, got robbed by N2K yesterday, and platinum went to break even. So yeah, I'm not a rich girl this morning at all.
I got a nice shot in NQ at 8 o'clock last night when they twist.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I went back with the daily open, and exactly it hit it exactly. I went back up.
I'm so happy to hear that.
Yeah.
Makes me very happy when you guys make money. Alrighty. So can you see my screen?
So we do.
Hey, you too. Good morning. Wow, look at you, IT guy. The IT skills, you know?
If we can get up to 1,000 subs, then I think we'll broadcast next Wednesday also. But that's going to be our next benchmark. Remember, this is a reward for doing good things. So we love you and appreciate it.
Carrots.
Good
morning, everyone. Cheers. I have my umbrage cup this morning.
Cheers. I have boring white cup.
All right. So I was sharing my pain because I was in platinum short for 2 to 3 days. I started my short Friday in this region right here. And yeah, so I had a beautiful drop, and last night, I mean, that was perfect. So we opened below the trend. Everything was nice. I was in the money, happy. But something happened. I don't know why. Well, I'd like some gains too, you know? So yeah, something happened out of the blue. I don't know what it was, but it went bullish real fast.
I believe we call that the currently the strongest crap market, right? So I mean, it's like,
yeah, but it's metals. Metals are nice. Metals are nice. They're not indexes.
Yeah, they're supposed to be nice to you. I mean, what is going on? Everyone's trying to be like NQ these days.
All right, so looking at this, of course, we are more bullish than bearish, seeing that we are breaking out from this, yeah, like long-term downtrend that we have here. So we had a little pullback. We had a beautiful downside movement. And then we are hitting this support for no reason at all. But yeah, we're liking this price. So we went higher, and now we are more bullish. But doesn't mean that we're bullish that we have to buy here. So we would like a nice pullback before we buy. So for me here, it's a bit difficult because what the I would like a pullback closer to my levels right here to buy. Here it's a bit too steep. I don't have any support that I trust. I mean, we could have this one here, I guess, but I would prefer that platinum goes back to the trend and hold here, or I'm gonna prepare to have a trade potentially here if we reject that level again. So yeah, so platinum would be more bullish.
Alien.
Ooh, wow. Okay, so beautiful move from MQ. What is going on? I mean, this is insane.
It's insane, and we're in higher, wider ranges. So the expectation would actually be to close maybe more near previous day's close or somewhere down there. But I mean, what a run up in the morning.
I mean, who cares, right? What are ranges?
Yeah.
We break out.
It's true.
Oh, geez. Okay, so now it looks like it wants to hold this steeper. So what I would be looking for is either a trend break or a hold, and then we go higher. We also have the previous high like this that matches the trend. So as long as we're holding this, we are going higher, and if we break this, we could go back to the other one. Of course, pre-market high is the next level. So that would be it for me. So the trend is in play, this one, and then the 2 levels. Okay, but I will remove this one. I don't want to crowd my charts. I have the trend, so I'm good to go. Now, ES also has a steeper trend. Wow. I just want to, yeah, this is insane. And again, like all this move, guys, started when we were done with this movement down like this. You know? So we always take the setups because we don't know like which one is going to be the year maker. So what I really like about this is that here we have the trend break right here, okay, in this candle, because this is a wick, and then we have a candle closing on the other side, but then we have to see how the other candle reacts, and it was not very strong, so you wait. Then you have another candle closing green, so that could be a go, or you just wait for a pullback to the trend before you enter, and that would be this one. So even if you miss this entry, you have this other entry here, and that's what I'm talking about. So that's this same kind of setup I would look for platinum today. Like if we can pull back like this on the downtrend, that would be very nice. The cleanest breaks are with the retest, cleanest setups. All right, so here we can also branch steeper. And of course, we have pre-market high right here. So I'm not going to add a support because it would be this one. I have the trend, so it's perfectly fine like this. So again, we are more bullish. ES and Q until we lose that direction. We look for pullbacks to buy.
Absolutely. And I wanted to say a little congrats to our guy Bit. He passed 3 funded accounts on NQ. So
what?
So
oh my God, I'm so happy, Bit. Great job.
So good job, buddy. Well done.
That is amazing. It's amazing. Wow. Okay. Great job. Where to go?
Yeah, bud. So RTY is the one I'm playing with a little bit this morning. I was up early and I took a couple tries and ended up getting in short on RTY because it's a wide range. So I'm kind of expecting it to go back in, and it started throwing a lot of volume this morning around 7. So I'm holding RTY short right now.
Perfect.
So it was a sloppy entry because there's no level up here. So I'm just like, it looked like it was going to sell, but I'll show you guys at 9:15 what it looks like.
But again, sloppy entry, like don't be too hard on yourself.
No,
you know.
No, I'm really happy with it. Like it's all good signals, all the reasons I wanted to get in. It's just it took a couple of stabs without a good level up here. It's just like, we got to kind of just fish up here a little bit.
Exactly. And again, taking stabs, like little stabs, are fine. It's not like you're losing like a lot every time. You're trying, you have the setup and maybe it's not ready yet. you know?
Mhm.
So yeah.
Yeah, I liked it because we were above H6 on a wide range. It's RTY. That's my range lever, even though it's being crazy right now. But it's coming back. It's coming back. He doesn't feel comfortable. I can feel it. No. So, but you know, it was so with being above ATR high, H6, like, you know, way up there, I was like,
Yeah.
this seems like a good spot to give, you know, to start looking for something. I'm going to play back to H4 and then I'm just out. So I'm basically playing H6 back to H4 and then
that's perfect.
and then happy.
And it's wide, so you are doing it right because we don't expect a breakout.
Yep.
So all good.
So, and then between the entries, I probably risked maybe around $700 or $800 between both of the entries because I had tight stops, and you know, I'll definitely make more than a couple multiples of that. So it works. Helga says,
So
"Good morning, by the way, off of the YouTube. Nice to see Dr. V."
I'll see you guys at 11 too today. Alrighty, so for RTY, the trend now will be so around 28.80. We expect some bouncing action. Now YM, oh, YM is beautiful. I missed that entry. I'm so mad. Oh my God, guys. The 50,043 level.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Jesus, that hurts.
Oh, that hurts. Oh wow.
Oh my God. It's so beautiful. Again, easy trade. Oh my God. So we had a beautiful easy trade last Friday. We have a beautiful easy trade at 6 a.m., 7 a.m. Oh my God. Okay, so please, trading does not have to be complicated. This is a high. They melted. What is the expectation when we go back here? That we melt. What is the expectation that we melt? Again, is it going to work this time? Who cares? I need to take the setup.
Yeah. Until it doesn't work.
I need to take the setup. We obey the master. Okay, the master is saying this is too high. This is too high. This is too until it's not too high. But it is too high until they say otherwise. So it's not our job to say, this morning I don't feel like taking it. No, you take it. You know, that's the job of this line. This line is keeping the price down. There's nothing else to it. Wow. Okay.
Wow.
So YM, if we keep selling, PDC would be, you know, we have the 200 SMA. Right on PDC, we have the trend. So we could pull back to this region right here. Or we break out and we're too strong. But the expectation that if this hold, we could go back to PDC. Oh, it's beautiful. And then if we can go back down and lose these guys here, potential play back to 608. CL. Hey, do I have my lady in the house this morning? What a trade.
Yes, but I don't want to talk about it in public.
Okay.
Why, it made too much money or no?
What a trade. Jesus. And sometimes it is happening so fast. Wow. Oh my God, that was beautiful. So again, we had a beautiful setup right here. The idea is that the price is breaking the trend. We prefer the retest to enter, okay? So of course, the retest will not always happen at the line. Sometimes it's close enough. So that was our close enough signal. And then we had another close enough signal, kind of a double top of this region. Again, the expectation is that we should stay on the other side of things because we broke this. And then when we see some weakness, or even here, we can just go for the trend continuation on this, the new downtrend. All right, so I don't have anything for CL right now. It's a bit in the middle of nowhere. I would like a pullback to continue short.
I got nothing on CL as far as cams go. We're so low. It's,
Wow.
it's a lower narrow range. So if it went back to $100, I could short, that's L4. So I could short L4. And that's the 1 hour 200 SMA is right there. So that could
At
be
101.14?
yeah 101.14s where the SMA is, and then L4 is at 100.36. So
Yeah,
so
well, that's
right
the
in
pullback
there.
I'm talking about.
Yeah, I like that spot right there. So if we pull back to there on crude, I think a short would be fun.
And for me, any pullback to the trend line is also great. So let's say that we reclaim the 50% and sideway a little bit and we go hit this. That could be also like anything that reaches my downtrend, I expect the same kind of reaction. Also, maybe we have a steeper. All right, this is the main trend, the most powerful one, but we have the steeper going on right here. So we could also reject the 38%. So let's say that we accept this and we go higher, we could reject here, or we could just reject the 50% retracement of this movement, right? And then go back down. So let's see what happens. The greatest parties are close to a level. So here there's no level. We set our alerts, we get ready for a party. So gold. So I'm short gold because what is going up has to come down. So
I mean, I like that idea.
My entry is 47.21.8. My stop was at the high, and now I trailed my stop. So if we make a new 1 hour high, so if we close green on this candle, I'm going to exit my trade. The trade idea would be to cover when we reach the 200 SMA and the 46.35 level-ish. That would be a great trade if we go back there. Because again, let's say I want to buy this trend break because it looks very yummy. I need the pullback. We don't buy a breakout here. It's sketchy. We need the great entry, the pullback, the retest. So worst case scenario, I'm making $500. And if the best case scenario, I'm making $3,500.
Beautiful. I mean, that sounds like a pretty good best case, worst case to me.
Yeah.
I mean, money or money? I hate this. And I still
This
am
week
jealous
is
of Sam's
hard.
background, by the way. Like Sam just sitting out like with like tropical paradise behind him, just getting a little trading on. Like, whatever. This is what we do.
This is what we do. And I have to say, you guys made it so interesting and possible. So I'm very grateful today. I'm feeling a lot of gratitude.
Oh, thank you for sharing that.
I'm not trying to plug your book, but I'm reading your book this morning and listen.
Available on Amazon. No, I'm kidding.
When the simplification, instead of trying to follow patterns, find patterns, and work with pivots and just, get what, the market gives you, it's a whole new level of freedom. So
yeah.
And then you get to come trade in Florida whenever you want. So
I'll drink to that.
Yeah.
Thank you
for
so much
sure.
for sharing.
Cheers, man.
Simplicity. You said it. Simplicity.
Yeah.
Yes, I have the swing trade Ask Me Anything session on Monday afternoon at 1 p.m. But I got burned in my two setups. So I had the M2K short that was going on. I got stopped out yesterday, and I had the platinum since last Friday also, and I got stopped out last night. So my two
Rude.
swings were, were out of the equation now. Okay, so yeah, gold, of course we're bullish, but I would like a pullback to buy this. Okay. So that's the story for this. Now, ooh, silver. Let's remove, we have too much noise here. All right, so what is going on here? Let's go on a 4-hour chart. So we have some higher lows going on. And then we had this trend.
Hey, good to see you, T-Chad. How are you doing, buddy? Blake, good to see you too, man. Riviera Mark in the house. What's up, dude? Hope you all are liking seeing
So
here.
we're trying to break this at the moment. All right. We have the level right here. And then we have, again, I would like a cleaner pullback here in this region before doing anything long with this. But it's more bullish than bearish. All right, for silver too. So Bitcoin had the breakout. Oh, last night. So we tried to break out yesterday. We could not.
This is Bitcoin for me, or is one of those, or microbit future is one of those ones to me that can kind of go against the rule a little bit. So we are in a narrow range, but our ATR high is inside of H6. So there's not a lot more top side here. So if we actually start to roll over, this could end up being a decent sell today from this position.
Yeah, my next level for bit is 87,215. And as long as we are following this, we are not going down. I'm going to make it steeper to take this price action in, the recent one. And we have a major support here, a monthly support at 81,790. So close to PDC. So if we lose momentum to the upside and pull back here, we expect these regions to hold. So I'm more bullish than bearish on this. All righty, so Apple. So now we're leaving the futures to go to the stock market. And we have too many lines.
Pew, pew.
Pew, pew, pew. Okay, so the story on Apple is Apple breaking out of this downward pressure. And now we have never gets old.
Nope, never gets old.
So now if we want to go higher, we need to breach this direction. Okay. And if we cannot breach this, then we might continue our descent to go back to this uptrend. Okay. So Apple, until we breach this, I'm more bearish. I mean bearish. It's bullish, okay, higher time frame, but maybe we're having a little pullback. And then of course we have the Friday high right here. So we are Wednesday and we are still not able to break last week's high. So that's also a good indication, okay? So we need, if we're strong, we are breaking last week high, but now it's Wednesday and it hasn't happened yet. What? Earnings.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Explosion.
so when we have reactions like that, okay, when we have this kind of candle, the first thing, I know nothing about the stock market. I know nothing at all. But the first assumption that we have to have is that people will try and take profit. So when you see a move like this, you don't go long, okay? You wait. If you want to go long AMD, wait for a pullback.
A big one.
Or short, yeah, or short the top of this action. So common sense is not to buy here, it's too expensive. Wait for a discount.
I mean, are you saying buy low, sell high? I mean,
Yeah.
that just sounds like something very commonsensical that we think is BS sometimes.
But it is what it is, you know? We don't, and I still see people like they get excited, they buy right here. And they wonder like what is wrong because yeah, but AMD is bullish. Yes, AMD is bullish. It doesn't mean you have to buy now. You know? So that's it's too far now from we have a trend going on, okay? Since the beginning of April. So a month ago, we broke the 200 SMA. So by the way, like how beautiful was that? Anyways, so we broke the 200 SMA and we are going up since then.
We had
Okay, so
Hasnain.
for me, buying AMD.
Oh, sorry. Hasnain was
that?
asking about your trend lines. Remembering you mentioned in the past that the body is more important. I think they were kind of recognizing how you drew that trend there.
The body is more important?
Yeah, they were saying, why is Dr. V using the wicks to draw our trend lines? I remember you mentioning in the past that the body is more important.
No, nothing is more important. What is more important is the direction. And what is most important is having as much as price action as possible in the trend line. So sometimes it's going to be the wick. Sometimes it's going to be the bodies. It really depends on the direction we're having. So not a single trend line is the same. We're trying to be good enough, okay? So this trend is a bit steep. It could go maybe like this. I prefer like this, okay? So we are taking this into account, not too crazy tight, but look at this one now. When I adjust it a little bit, this is way cleaner. Okay? So what's most important is having as much candles as possible inside of it. All right, so AMD, I would prefer the price to pull back a little bit down before buying anything. So Amazon is having some topping action. Let's go back to the 1 hour chart. And we could start some trend line. I'm gonna use this one. So if we lose PDC on Amazon, I would expect the price to go down a little bit. Again, can we hold this and go higher? But if we lose the trend, we could lose PDC. So here, I would wait for the 2 levels to be broken before entering short. But it's super high. Wow. So what is Google up to? Okay, so we had a trend break here. This trend is over with. Then we had a big move up again. So I will mark the 399, the recent high. And then we are having this. So when the price reaches this, we expect a reaction to the upside, some bouncing action. We have the support right here, this big wick. That also is the trend line. So I'm going to use the trend line and be happy with that. So more bullish than bearish. But again, I would prefer to buy near the trend. Here we are in the middle of nowhere. So basically the bears are trying to push the price down. That was too high. So they're trying to push the price down and the bulls are trying to hold the price up. So we are in a wedge here. We need one direction to win before we do anything.
Google is my ticker, one of the 3 tickers that I'm really into today. It's a higher, wider range, and H4 is at 379 or 397. So it's
oh, that's nice. So pre-market high, basically.
yeah, pre-market high is just above it, and it was a really weak press when we went above it before. So if we reoffer that area, I'd be interested.
Oh, Mara, 1286. So Mara is beautiful. And it trends very well these past weeks. It's very nice. And it's not expensive. I mean, how is the spread on this? Is it bad? Because it's beautiful.
On Mara right now? The spread on Mara is less than a nickel. Which is a little bit, since it's only a $12 ticker, it's actually a pretty decent spread right now.
It respects the levels very well. I really like it. So we have this level right here. Let's go check on the 4-hour chart. So that's the level we hit, the 1286. Okay, very obvious pullback, and then we started melting. We made a lower low. So interesting spot. And then we have this other spot, 1349, if we can reclaim it. If we cannot reclaim it, if we stay below 1286, now we have the trend in the way, and the next level is 1223. And if you're trading the 1-minute chart, the 1 hour might be the best higher time frame because it's even closer to the price action. All right, so Mara, until we take 1286, we are going down back to trend. Meta is really messy. Again, yesterday we had a break of this direction right here, and then we set a trend line going up, saying as long as we stay above this new direction, we are good being long. Okay, although it's very bearish. Okay, so I would not go long on Meta, but that's what the price was saying yesterday, that it's out of this downward pressure. But what happened at the open is that we just melted back down. So out of the way, and the next level for me would be 600. Okay, I'm not interested in anything until we reach this. All right.
Meta is one of my other tickers I'm actually interested in. Lower, wider range, 609.11 is H3.
Mm-hmm. And it's PDC, so yeah, it makes sense.
It's a nice spot.
Mm-hmm. Microsoft. Oh, Microsoft is pretty, but it's too far away from my level now. So 413 is the level. We tagged it yesterday at 3 p.m. Now again, pre-market. It's a beautiful level. Again, the level does its job until it doesn't. So beautiful. I will have this trend line now. And I would like a pullback to short this, but I would be more bearish than bullish on this, like Meta. Yeah, Meta is beautiful. let's adjust the trend because we're having a new low now. So Netflix is sketchy. So now it lost finally the 50% on Monday. Retracement from the big move on the daily chart. So we had the pullback. I threw the fibs on that pullback and we could not hold the 50%. So we are not bullish on this. So now the next level to the downside would be 86.50 for Netflix, which is the other side of the gap that we had on the daily chart. And nothing in between. So 86.50 is the next level for Netflix. And we are bearish. Now NVDA could continue its march down. The line will be my guide on this. So I would prefer a pullback closer to this before shorting. Now we have PDC, so we might bounce, have a pullback, and then lose it. And the support would be, of course, Tuesday low. I don't need these anymore. Beautiful trend break. I'm going to leave it here because maybe we go back to test it from the other side. So I'm going to leave it at the moment. And I will remove this too. All right. So as long as we continue to hold this, we are bearish. And maybe we want to go back to Mama trend right here, the big monthly uptrend. Maybe. Also, we could have some fibs to look at the retracement. Okay, so we're trying to hold at 38%. So let's see how we do today, if we can hold this or not. What kind of a double bottom just below it? So PLTR. Beautiful. So we have a trend break on PLTR. And that spot was the best, guys. Oh my God. Monday, 4 p.m. We had this broken near the downtrend. So that is the juiciest spot. When we have two lines breaking together, it's the best one.
There's your trend lines are wowing them on YouTube quite a bit. So if you haven't looked at the 1 hour and 4 hour the way you do, so they're really enjoying some information on that. That's really great.
And they can ask me questions later during the 11.
Yep, we'll have an 11 o'clock session today, everybody. So Dr. V will be on and she'll be able to share her screen into the YouTube and all that stuff. So we'll be able to have some fun. It'll be great.
All right, so that's the new downtrend now, okay? So as long as we follow this, we're good to go short. And again, it's having a visual clue, okay? It's having something simple, whatever you're using for your trading, but something simple and very visual that will tell you I'm still okay being short or I'm still okay being long. If you are short this PLTR from here, let's say, then we have the pullback. We rejected the 200 SMA, so we're good to go. Then we lose trend, we're still good. And now we have this angle. So if I'm short in this, swing trading this, I'm not exiting my position until we break on the other side of the line and close. You always wait for the candle to close because we could go up, reject, and then go back inside. Okay, very important to wait for a candle close. Whether it's a 1 minute chart, a daily chart, a weekly chart, whatever it is, you wait for the candle to be closed before taking a decision. And finally, Tesla. So Tesla went, it's beautiful. Okay, so when we have a trend break, we wait to see, okay, we have, and I need to find a word for it. So we have a candle that goes, I can call this like the action candle because it goes to the trend break. It makes the break. Okay. But we don't act on the action candle. We act on the reaction candle. And that would be the next one. And the next one is not convinced by this action right here.
Yeah, I had a buddy of mine once that I traded with. He called them shakeout candles, which I always thought was fun.
Yeah, but
I like
you don't
action.
know it's
I like action better.
Yeah, because shake out, how do you know it's a shake out?
Yeah, I've heard it commonly that, but I like action better. I think that's a much better name for it.
Because it's doing the break, you know, but then we wait and we could not even make a new high on this one. You know, the wick is lower and then we went back inside. And look, we had another entry opportunity when we pulled back to the trend and we said, no, thank you. We are good inside here. We feel safe. Okay. Beautiful fake trend break on Tesla. And now that's the new trend line based on this potential new low that we will make with this pullback right here. Okay, so we have a level here. This is a weekly level. So 384.29 is a very important weekly level. That's why it's blue on my chart. But since we have the 200 SMA, I will remove it because I don't like to have noise on my charts. So the 200 SMA will do the job of being the support. And of course, we have the trend if we lose the 200 SMA. So somebody was talking about AVGO before I head out. AVGO. So AVGO, quickly, I'm going to remove everything. Let's go on the weekly chart. So we have last month's high right there. Okay. We have another monthly support right here. Then we go on the 4-hour chart. Okay, so we're making new highs, we're bullish, we're breaking out. Now we have this trend line like this. And we have a steeper. Like this. So AVGO is pre-market high or yesterday's high at 439.44. And we have the monthly level at 429.31. Okay, again, if we cannot make a new high here, we might continue our march down until here. And we could hold and go higher or just lose the monthly level and go back down. But here I wouldn't play anything because we are too far from a party spot. We have a party here, we have a party here and here.
We had someone off of YouTube ask if you were considering volume, but I thought I'd be okay if I went ahead and told them no.
No, I don't. I will use volume if I have two higher time frame levels that are close to each other. I will choose the one with the most volume. But other than that, I'm a pure price action direction trader. I prefer the direction. Yeah. All right.
Well, that was brilliant.
Thank you, everyone. And I wish you a beautiful trading day. So gold will stop me out in a bit, I think. My stop is above the high here. So if we make a new 1-hour high, I will be out of this trade. But if gold is nice, I will potentially go back at 46.35. So be safe, guys. And I will see you later.
Thank you so much, Dr. V. Appreciate it. You were amazing.
Bye.
Bye. So, hello, everybody in Market Alchemists, everybody out there at YouTube. I hope you have been enjoying this little peek behind the curtain. Obviously, we're not intending on doing this every morning, but since we hit 150 likes yesterday, as promised, we are streaming out this morning. The more attention we get and stuff like that, of course, the more we will do for you. So our next benchmark will be 1,000 subscribers. We're at 914 as of my last check. So I would really enjoy it if y'all all would get us up to that bump, because then we can send another one out. So I'm gonna see if this share works this way. Hopefully it does, and it comes across the screen. Let's see here. I'm hoping it comes across onto YouTube. Let's do this. Nope. See how many people we got hanging out in here. Ha ha ha. Sorry. Nope, I didn't want that either. All I want is my screen. Can you see my screen, Mohammed?
Yeah, you see it in YouTube or?
No, because it's just showing whoever's speaking right now. So I need to fix my view. So it just.
I see your RTY chart.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you can see it. I'm trying to show it to everybody. All right. So let's see. We have a little bit of a tech hang up here. On Zoom, we can see YouTube. No, I mean, you should be able to see it now, but not my screen. You can see my screen, but YouTube right now is seeing you. And when I do speaker view, it shows you guys, but I really want to see my screen. And then that will be the thing.
Yeah, nobody wants to see me.
Nobody wants to see Mohammed. I mean, everybody wants to see Mohammed, but you know what I'm saying. But normally I can. So when I go through the non-web version, I can actually see. Yeah, it lets me do some. Maybe. Oh, there's right hide. All right, so we're gonna stop share here for a second. Yeah, it's because we're streaming in Zoom. So, but remember, this is just a little fun time. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep the Zoom open so you guys can talk to me through Zoom, but I'm going to remove Zoom from here. And then what I'm going to do, so you guys can still talk to me, is I'm then gonna share my screen into YouTube. And that should work better. Boom. Add to stage. There we go. All right. And then let's see here. I doubt I can do both at the same time, but let's see if it works. Wow. I think it did both. Well, hot damn. Look at that. All right. We have the technology, but now it should not be sharing the Zoom out to everybody. So anyone in here, you're no longer on YouTube. Thank you very much for hanging with us and being okay with helping us to kind of entice some participation in the Market Alchemist. It's important because I mean we want to be here for a long time and we need people for that, right? So don't forget, everybody on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe. We really appreciate you. You're amazing. So, give that good stuff. And we'll get going. So I talked about the beginning of the day, and then I'll go through a little analysis, and then we will do some live trading, which we're already doing live trading. So as you can see here, RTY was in a high wide range. So my expectation is to close back in the middle. And RTY and everything went into just an insane rally in the morning. So obviously we can go up forever, but I wasn't thinking it was. And I was really, because we were above the 6th level, I was really looking for something to start the selling. So I got in first time, and because there's no level up here, right? I've got nothing that I can utilize, as a firm level. So I'm basically going to have to jig fish up here a little bit, right? You have to kind of come into this idea, like it's going to take me maybe 2 or 3 entries on this thing to get into it, because I really don't have a firm level. So what am I looking for to get in? Well, I'm looking for it to ideally close below the 9, and I'm looking for selling volume, an exceeding amount of downtick, right, on the buying and selling detector. So as we pushed up here, we had this really big sell initiate, and it looked like it was going to close under the 9. So I went ahead and went short. Stop was right above the high of day, and I lost that one. Then we chopped around it. It looked kind of BS to me, and it looked like we had exhausted our buyers at that point. So I went ahead and tried hitting the low for the ISO pivot when it came down to the 20, stop above the high again, and then went out. But again, these stops are above the high. So this initial trade, I think, was like 500 risk. This second one was maybe 300 risk. Then we got up and I got the big volume hit again, closed below the 9. I tried it one more time, stop above the high of day, 2 contracts risking about $500 or $600 again. And now I'm holding, right? So, and this is where I make my money. It's not about the entry, it's about what you do afterwards, right? So right now I'm holding. I was going to go all out at H4, but the buying and selling detector is reading very stable selling. So because we're reading stable selling, I don't want to get out yet, right? So, but I also don't want to give too much back, and it's the early session. So I have my stop here, and I do think it's okay, because you can see every time I'm marking here, these are where I like to put my stops. So you can see right here, we bought that break right there. We really shouldn't need to go up through that again, but especially this volume pop here and the reoffer, we really just shouldn't need to get back into these areas. Right. So if we rebuy H4 on a wider range, reclaim the 50 and break out, I think it's pretty safe to go ahead and take the money. So I'm going to go right here, right where these wicks are, right? I don't want to be under those wicks, because there was obviously something here that we could reoffer. And then I'm just holding right now. Like my original target was just H4, and I'm already doing good. As you can see, I've got a pretty good amount of price going. Right. And we're just hanging through. But this is where, I want you guys to understand that when you're a stock trader, it's not although it can be pretty, it's not really about that. Right. So yeah, Gonzalo, good to see you, by the way, buddy. But yeah, I kind of think of it as partialing the loser, or not partialing the winner. Right. I'm keeping my winners or my losers as small as possible. If it breaks a new high of day, it's too bullish to stay in. So why hold it longer? Just let it take you out, and then let it cross the average again. And then if it crosses again, get back in. Maybe you have to hit it a couple of times, but it works, right? So, so thank you, Invo, for answering that. So TradingView, I use Tradeovit. I have a Tradeovit brokerage through Apex as a funded. I also have a Tradeovit live account. That's my personal account. I have an IBKR account, and then I also have a My Funded Futures account that I copy into also. So hey, Nathan Stevens in the house. What's up? Look at that. We got some people coming in here. So we got about almost 90 people watching right now, by the way. How fun is that? Corey, good to see you, buddy. Benjamin back in the chat. So, and again, if you guys could see what I could see, I'm still super jealous of Sam's view, even though he and I are having the same bad hair day. All right. So now hit me, Sam. I don't know if we did or not, but I'll certainly hit it again. MU's not on our normal watch, so probably not. Yeah, Mohammed said no. MU. And then someone in the YouTube asked for CIFR. I'm nervous already, but we'll take a look at it. MU is in a higher, wider range, which I really like. MU is cranking right now on the 1 hour, huh? Like this thing is, look, we've been buying, but we put in a lot of volume and we've been pushing up, but look at these, always in the after hours. Look at this thing. It's always in the pre-market or in the first half hour. So MU seems like it does most of its movement in the first half hour of the day, like almost every day. Yesterday, it kind of kept going a little bit. It is a bit exhausted and you have this higher, wider range. I like that a lot. We're above all-time high on this thing, so we don't have a big level to work with. So let's get a nice little trend going. So we had one of our people, I remember, she was trading MU and she bought right there for this reversal. That's why I have it marked there, because we were working on that together. She held all the way to the close and cut it, but look at this freaking thing afterwards. Imagine just holding that as a swing. Jesus, that would have been so fun. So for my trends, I use volume. So you can see this is the start, big candle here. So I'm going to hit that guy with a ray. And then I go up, and basically what I do is I use the volume to tell me where my trends are, right? So this candle, big candle here, has volume, so I'm willing to use its low, but I'm not going to use the low of this little period here because there's no volume on it, right? So I'm going to keep this going here. So we have a really wide trend right now too. So I think the possibility of a failure here is actually something we could look at, but I would love to see MU sweep pre-market high and go for H4 and then short H4. If we sell, I don't like the buy from here. If we sell, we should be under the CP if we're going to buy L3. So the only play I'm really going to like would be the H4 short on this one. Yeah, and there's just no levels. Jesus. So other than that, we could use maybe the reoffer of this. Like we got this guy, we bought. Yeah, that's all I really got. Other than that, it's gonna be this level right here is gonna be the one to watch. This high, I would keep an eye on that. So we see where we break trend with this high. That's gonna be a very significant area, and that's an ATR low too. So I really don't use Bookmap very much anymore, Andre. I used to use it like religiously, but after a while, I actually kind of got used to the way it looks, right? And it just works. Does that answer your question there, buddy? On the MU? I agree. No levels. Higher, wider range on Cypher. I would maybe be willing to buy L3 if offered. So, but that's about it. If we open a little higher, we could look for a reversal at H4. I think it'll take too long to get there. So if it doesn't get to the reversal point within the first hour, I'm rarely interested in it unless I see something I really like, right? So we'll have to do that. So yeah, the main reason I don't use the order book is because I have the buying and selling detector, which is, my little wild invention here that Dr. Bruz and I threw together for you. So for me, as long as the buying and, as long as I'm reading selling here, my assumption is we're going to go down, whether there's bids there or not. If there's bids to the downside, the selling will drive into those bids, but if there's asks to this top side and we're selling, we're still going to go down. So right now, and we are opening right now. So ding, ding, ding. Let's see what we get. Selling. All right. So if we buy the high of that level now, I'm going to get out. Otherwise, I'm just holding right now. So, and then if we get any alerts that pop through, we'll take a look at those alerts whenever they come through. Wow. Notice this opening volume is not exhaustive. What are you in, buddy? Mohammed? You're short in Q? Of course you are. I don't even know why I asked you. A poster, Thor, you never partial, do you? No, I don't partial. So I just go out. right? So I'm just going to hold, and I'm right now. Oh, sorry, I meant to be above the 50. Sorry, that's too close. Right there. So once I get into a working position, I trail the 50. And I just go out whenever it reclaims the 50 with volume. So like if this comes up and buys H4 and goes into a breakout, I'm so out of this thing, right? I'll let it set up, get under H4, go up, do a thing, and then do a short. But we're in a higher, wider range. So, and RTY actually opened under H4. So this is a short right now. I mean, it's not going to call it as a candidate because we didn't open in the mid range. So we can't get a good sweep. So we can't call it without the sweep. But I mean, it still opened under H4. So right now, I mean, we offered H4 right at the open and then sold, or, you know, leading into the open. So let's see what happens. If this sells from here, we could actually go as low as L3, or even, yeah, I would say we could go as low as L3 on this one. Thor showed. Right now, we're basically flat right now. So we're offering to the buyers right now. We're giving them their chance. Like if they want to buy, we're giving them their opportunity right now. Of course. And none of the rooms going out right now, Tia. So I'm only sharing my screen and audio, just so you know. So you can talk in. What did AMD do? Wow. Kapow. Explosion. Jesus, that's fun. Google's the one I was kind of looking at. Ooh, NVIDIA. We have an NVIDIA alert. Oh, H4 breakout. Son of a alert. Look at this beautiful end of the H. These H4 breaks on lower narrow ranges have been so good. So good. Buying and selling detector for NQ. Let's go over to it and we'll just watch NVIDIA explode itself. I'm going to put RTY over on a different screen just so I can kind of keep an eye on it. And we will do NQ over here. So NQ, I have a trend line that I drew in the drew yesterday on NQ, and I adjusted it this morning. So, and I have a wider one that's been carried for quite a while. So right now we've opened, and we're kind of opened in between these two trends. But look, higher, wider range, and we're right at H4. So this will be a really interesting spot to see what happens. Because it's a higher, wider range, I would expect to not go long here. But maybe we offer the trend and then set a pivot. But right now, and we are selling a little bit more than we're buying right now. So this is a fairly weak open for NQ, and this reoffer was fairly light. But be careful with NQ. NQ has been a pain in the butt lately. So I would wait for it to close below the 9 and the 20, and I would take as few contracts as you can and just let it move, right? So, oh, we got an alert on TSM. Wow. Okay, no short on TSM, everybody. This is not a short call. I understand we just called a short call, but the buying and selling detector is reading massive buying right now. So this is why whether you're a cam trader or not, this indicator will be like your favorite thing ever. And I say that as a biased person who invented it. Oh, sorry. Let's see right here, because look, we're coming back up to the trend and it's on insanely light volume. Like all three of these candles were very, very weak. But, you know, NQ will go up on weak volume right now because there's not a lot of structure in the way. So it doesn't need much. So, and RTY is coming back on me a little bit. So I'm still holding the same spot. If we reclaim this order that we went through, and then buy the 50 and go up, that'll be enough for me. I'll be out. And I mean, it'll still be a great day. I mean, it'll be like a $3 grand day. right? So can't complain there. But I want to hold this because this should hold. This is a higher, wider range. We should hold under this level and sell down. But you can see we're not getting very much selling right now. So we might have just gotten all the move we can get in the pre-market. And what I'm not going to do is stubbornly hold this if it goes into a breakout. So I'll let it just take me out, and I'll just be super happy that I had an easy morning. So, and other than that, we'll keep a lookout at some calls. I feel like I'm going to get wicked out by RTY and then it's going to sell, but I can only give back so much distance on this thing. Oh my gosh, that was so close. Look at where that just went to. I mean, it literally just wicked up through that order. Oh my God. You sucker. Almost got me, everybody. You see that, YouTube? Look what they almost did to me. Look how close they got to taking me out. See, this is why I stuck my stop above the 50 and just above where this order, you can see the wicks. And then this test, there had to have been an order sitting right around this area that they negotiated. And if they reoffer, they're going to reoffer that order because they sold through it, right? You can kind of see it. So that's why I'm sitting where I'm sitting, because basically they have to rebuy an area that they distributed off of, right? So this is where I want to be out. If this buys up and goes out, you can see though, either way, if this takes me out now, I'll feel really good about it, right? Because I picked a perfect spot. But if this sells from here, I mean, that's beautiful. Good job, Bit. And I want to say, Bit Player, man, good job again, man. Congratulations on the freaking, like, the amazing play, man. That's so cool. All right. I also, I'm trying, we'll see if it works. I did try a short on NQ off of when it squeezed up above the line. If it goes... I'm already at break even. If this squeezes back up, I'm just going to dip out of it. So when I went in here, my stop was just above the high. So like $200 risk maybe on this one to see if I can get a quick drop on it, because it looked like that was about it. We had offered and then we started to sell again. So I'm kind of into this here. This is an H4 short on the higher wider. And I'm still in RTY also. All right, we have over 100 people watching on YouTube right now. So good to see everybody. Welcome. All right, I think I'm going to get taken out of NQ. That's okay though. We'll just call it a fun try. I really like the idea. I could leave it above the high, but it's obviously a little sketchy on the trade. Let's get back over to RTY. Oh yeah, RTY is being good to me. I love it. So of the futures, RTY is by far my favorite to play right now. My range lover. Do you think AMD will hit H6? You're long at 414. What do you think, Mohammed? You think AMD is going to hit H6 today? I think there's a good chance. What do you think, so look at our buying and selling detector. We are running full hot right now. So I certainly wouldn't short it right now. Like if I was going to short, it would need to cross the 9, the 20, maybe even the 50 to really show that it doesn't have strength. So like see here earlier, see how it closed the 9, then closed. We had a moving average cross when it closed the 21. We closed the 50, offered. Right in there is a good short, right? Don't try and just top this thing because it's been, I mean, this was a very bullish open. We had a lot of selling come in at the open and we absorbed all of that selling. And then immediately bought and bought strong, right? Buying and selling detector says we're buying. So you want to keep this bad boy holding unless you see something change. If you see a big sell candle and it drives back down into ATR low, right? Then you know, and you'll go red on the BSD. Well, then I wouldn't hold it. But right now it looks pretty sweet. Speaking of pretty sweet. You know, it's a Muhammad, you know, it's a good morning when you have to zoom out to see where your P&L is. No? Just me? Okay. I don't know what I'm doing right now. Actually, it's all. All right, let's see here. Let's look at AVTX and then Elias, I'll talk about it. Elias in the Alchemist is asking me to talk about my entry on RTY. So we are selling like crazy on AVTX right now. It opened weak, it offered, swept the high, and then started, I mean, just dropping like a rock. It's a higher, wider range. So for me, the expectation is to play inside today. So I would look for maybe target if you're short now, 4 hour or 1 hour, the 200 SMAs are right here near 2 days ago's close. If it bounces off of those, I would not hold through the 50 pullback, right? But if it goes into those and offers them the underneath, I mean, you could move all the way to L3, maybe even lower today, just because of how much selling I'm seeing. I think it's possible. So back to the, let's go back to RTY. So I was looking at RTY in the morning. My son wakes up really early in the mornings, Elias. So I'm normally around, like, I get him up around 6. So normally around like 6:45 or 7 before I leave to take him to school, I normally got some spare time. You know what I mean? So I was pulling up some charts and I was just blown away at how extended RTY already was. So, and it's a higher, wider range. So I wanted to short somewhere around H6. And so I was just watching it and we were above H6. But because there's not a level up here, like a firm level, remember, so when we talk about our levels, right, we don't use cams as levels, right? Cams are pivots, right? So they're projected into the ether. And on NQ yesterday, they were flawless. I mean, NQ went H4 to the 6th level and then closed out towards the 6th level. It was beautiful. It did exactly what it should have done yesterday. And so for here, while we were up here, because we were so high and we had no level, I used a momentum style entry, which is what I do anyway, right? I use VPA and momentum, but normally I have a level there I'm really trying to mine. So like, you know, all-time high at the level, something that makes the cam react, right? So what I saw when we got above it was I saw this big sell, boom, and we closed under the 9 and basically on top of the 20. And then I got short as this candle was closing. But then I realized after I got short that it was actually too much selling. I had a pretty good feeling I was going to get knocked out of this one. Sure enough, it squeezed back up and I got taken out, but it was a really tight entry, right? So then I tried again here because it started to set an ISO pivot after this candle here left a big wick on the top of it. So, and the volume looked like it had climaxed, right? So I was thinking, okay, that was it, right? And then it stopped me. But again, like $300 risk on this one. I think it was like 500 or 600 on my first one, 300. So I was under $1,000 risk for both trades, right? And then we pulled up and then boom, there's the volume again, right? And this time it closed on the other side of the 9, almost at the 20 again. So I said, okay, and I shorted that candle, stop above the high, right? And then this one, it's been working. So, and the thing that I do, it's not my entries, you know, everybody on YouTube, everyone in here, I want to try. I don't have the world's highest hit rate. I never have had the world's highest hit rate. I mean, I did when I wasn't making money. I had a really high hit rate. I went like a whole year without having a red day, but I didn't make a lot of money, right? Because I partialed and and I wasn't willing to go. But what I do is I hold, right? So I don't partial, I just hold, right? And then I'll get out if it comes back through. Like, see, I had this right here. You saw this sitting here. If it bought that high, I was going to be out. Right. So in this instance, we're doing good. Let me look at IREN for Tia. Woof. Oh, it looks fun. It's buying a lot still, but it exhausted. So I like this for a short. Did you try it? Cool. You can wait because this might still reoffer because it still has quite a bit of buying on it. So I would not be shocked to see if this pulls back up one more time and could potentially give you an entry. But this might just go because we had a lot of volume. We then moved up higher on lower volume. And then we called an exhaustion here because of it. So whenever you go, so on the buying and selling detector, anything above the 0 line is buying. Anything below it is selling, and we go from light to steady to heavy to exhaustive, right? So whenever we get above this, up near 100, our needle starts clocking way up here because we're basically saying there's so much volume weighted uptick right here, right? That we're not going to be able to sustain this, right? So we expect at least a mean reversion, but from H4 in a higher, wider range, that will turn into a really lovely drop. But really good spot. What made you what had you looking at IREN today, if you don't mind? Oh yeah, it sure has. No, it's beautiful. But I mean, this is brilliant though. What a great spot. Yeah. Grasshopper mode. But I mean, you've been crushing. You've been making some major improvements. So I mean, it's cool to see you like branching it. And remember, it'll really work for you when it comes together like holistically. Like what you'll see is what Dr. V talks about and what I talk about. And then all of a sudden it's all in the same place at the same time. That's when you're like, aha, like this is so fun. Of course. Oh my God, yeah. I mean, that's brilliant. So for those of you out at YouTube who couldn't hear, what we were talking about was that was the fact that there was also this really nice push and then this isolated pivot that's set up here right at the level. And then, but look at this really weak volume reoffer back to the level too. Like look as our volume declines and we're losing needle as we pull back. I mean, that's pretty sweet. This looks nice. This looks nice. And hey, 108 watching right now. Good stuff. Good to see everybody. Don't forget to like and subscribe, please. We are broadcasting today as a reward for hitting 150 likes yesterday. If we can hit 1,000 subs, then whenever we hit 1,000 subs, I will broadcast that next Wednesday. So I won't broadcast too much if, you know, we're just a little peek behind the curtain, right? Because, you know, if you want to hang out with us every morning and live trade with us every morning, then, you know, we would like to encourage you to join us at Market Alchemists. But every so often as a perk, because you're amazing and we love you, we'll throw a little bit of the secret sauce out for everybody. Big drop. Wow, we're doing okay. We're doing okay. All right, so I mean, we're still just managing this thing right now. So we've made it all the way basically to our ATR low. So there's just really not a lot of expectation here. I am going to go ahead and pull down and make a little bit more money. We should not repurchase the open price at this point. So if we cross the 9, the 21, and the 50 and buy the open, I am going to go ahead and go out. Either way, it will still be over, I'd imagine, around $3,000 if I go out there, which I don't know about all of you, but I feel like that's a pretty reasonable amount of money to make today. So we'll just be happy with it. Yeah. Dr. V and Thor, as a trader that has not found consistency yet, is it okay to take discretionary trades sometimes that do not call, or should I put that away and only take the ones that call? So Andy, here's kind of my opinion on this. Dr. V isn't here anymore. But she'll be back at 11 if you want to ask at 11. So my point here is, in the beginning, this as a trainer, you need training wheels. You know what I mean? Like you're just learning the market. It takes a long time to develop an experience and have the saddle time you need to be able to just say, hey, this is really high on a wide range. I'm going to start looking for a spot to short. You know what I mean? So I would highly recommend, if you're a newer trader, that you should stick to the calls, right? Because that's going to give you the best user experience while you gain consistency, right? And then as you start to understand the nuance of trading and you start to get a feel for market direction and you get more confidence in your ability to hold, right? Like in the beginning, I think you should only go for maybe 2 to 1s and 3 to 1s. It's not really about how much money you make. It's really about developing a good hit rate. When you choose a direction, does it go in your direction more often than it doesn't? And if that's the case, right, then that's a beautiful thing. Then you can start looking at, oh, okay, well, I could have held for 3R or 4R or 8R. Then for me, it changed when I stopped holding, you know, then I got to a point where I started to realize if I started going for larger range runs like this, I had about $1,000 worth of risk between all of my entries here because I kept my entries really small. So I'm up technically like 4.5R on all of my attempts today. Right. So, but if you take my entry, which was actually only about $300 on this entry here, maybe a little more, $300 to $400, right? So maybe $1,120 between all three, right? So I'm not really so concerned with that. Really, it's just about mitigating and keeping my risk controlled. But if this was just this one trade and I was giving you a P&L on that, I mean, we're talking about, you know, we're at 10 plus R's right now, right? So, and even if I stop out here, it's still going to be close to, it's still going to be a 7R, 8R trade, right? So it's a beautiful day, right? So I hope, does that help, Andy? If ad gamma is really good, this strategy has great strategy for those who are new, helps with patience. Cool, Adai. Hey, good to see you, by the way. I think I'm going to try and have the guys from Spot Gamma on again. So for my my beautiful people and alchemists, what else are you guys seeing? You guys looking at anything in specific otherwise? I'm just obviously just holding on to RTY now. I really don't know what target I'm going for anymore. So I was going to just go for H4. So I'm already making more money than I was intending to make. So, and then we were so weak and we were still selling. I just decided that I would keep holding. Why not? So how do I handle it when I'm making more money than I intended to make? It's a solid question. Let me think about it. Hold on. So it is one of those moments when, you know, I kind of made this decision because of how well we were selling, and it was a higher, wider range. So we should be short at H4 down to maybe as low as like L3, you know, and we have this big uptrend at L3 that I have marked. So maybe we're going back to test this trend. So for me, I just want to give it the opportunity to make as much money as it possibly can. So, because sometimes what I've done recently, Sam, actually, is I have kind of detached. I've kind of detached from like how much money I'm trying to make on the trades. I really just focus mostly on making sure I don't lose any more than I want to. So I'm always hyper focused basically on my downside. And then on my upside, I'm as long as it's still in trend or it's still selling and everything's going, I want to try and give it the opportunity to see how far it can go. Because if you give it that opportunity, then on the days it works, which may not be as frequently, but on the days that work, you know, all of us have had those days where you look at it and go, man, if I had just like done nothing and trailed the damn 50, I would have made all the money today. You know what I mean? And it's like, but so I'm just kind of trying to like Mel Robbins style, like, you know, just let it, you know, I mean, just give it a chance. But for me, it's, you know, again, I did have to kind of make a little bit of a momentary call where we were under H4 and we were at my target. And I said, well, for me to hold this, I am going to have to risk giving some of it back after I've already got to a target. That's a little difficult, I think, especially as a newer trader to do. Because if it comes up and then takes you out and you go, oh man, I should have just hit the damn level. And then I would have just been done. I would have been happy. So kind of keep an eye on that. If it's something that triggers you, right, then you may not want to do it at all for a while until you kind of detach from the reality. Like for me, I kind of feel like I would short H4 if it offered H4 by itself, right? So I'm going to see if this thing goes back into range. And the wide range specifically is what makes me want to hang on to this, because on a wide range, we should play inside and not outside today. And we already went outside in the pre-market. So we'll see what she does. Oh, it's a deep question. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, exactly. So for me, I'm holding on to all of my rules for how I stay in a position, right? So if I kept coming down, if I said if it bounced over the 50 and then came above this level, I was out, right? And then now that it's moved down, if it goes above the open, I'm out, right? Once it sells below here, I'll probably come up to, you know, I'll probably start using this level right here. Right? See how we had a wick and then we sold through it, tested it, and then moved lower. We really shouldn't buy that wick. So I could say, like right now, if we make a new low, right, we'll set this as a new micro range or a new small range, which we should not need to buy to go to the open again. If we do, then that's too bullish, right? So, and that's what I'm waiting for to get out. I'm waiting for the price action on this ticker to look bullish, right? Right now, while it's still, but that's, again, this is almost 10 years of trading, you know, in play right now to make this decision, right? So as a newer trader, especially as you're starting, I would recommend just hitting the levels. And then as time goes by, you will start to say, okay, well, it's going to hit the level, but this thing is so weak. I do not see a very high probability we're going to bounce and have a reversal here. So I'm going to go ahead and give this a little room to breathe and white knuckle this and be okay if I don't quite get the money I was after, because that's the hard part, right? You got to be willing to give a little bit back and then have that not bother you, which that takes, I think, more time to develop than anything else, right? Is being able to sacrifice a little bit and have it not, you know. Nice. 6-hour trade on Apple. Good for you. What did you do on Apple? Oh, well, there it is. It's a higher, wider range. And although it opened too low, it was an L3 buy. We just couldn't call it because it opened in the wrong location for the system to call. But we basically bought L3, offered L3 right into the moving averages, and then started buying. And then look at this big sell. This big sell for everyone, this big sell will often freak people out and it'll scare them. Look at the type of candle it's attached to. That's very important, right? We have an inverted doji here, or a topping tail, right? That closed negative, but we had a massive amount of sell volume, right? That should have been like an engulfing bar that came and closed through the 9 with that much volume. So we then wicked down and touched the 9 and tested it, and look at the low volume on that test candle, almost no volume on the test candle, and then we bought, right? BSD, by the way, still reading a buy on Apple. So if you're thinking about shorting, don't. I do like, even though there's not a candidate on it, that all-time high and H4 are both in the same location for Apple. That's juicy. All right, RTY. All right, so Sam, I think I'm going to go ahead and give myself permission on RTY. I'm going to go ahead and come above the 50. And so if it rebuys this level and then comes through the 50, I'm going to be happy. I mean, think about it. We're almost at ATR low right now. You know what I mean? We're almost to yesterday's high. We're almost to previous day's close. Like if we come all the way back to the open price right now, I feel like that's just too much, right? We should not need to reoffer the open, especially with we've had steady selling too. And we haven't exhausted. It's just been steady. So we shouldn't need an offer here. And if we do have an offer, screw it. Screw it. What time will you go live now? So we will be live. So this session, when it's over, I'm going to just pause the session and I'll put up a "will be right back" in 30 minutes. So that you guys can, and then Dr. V is going to come back on at 11. We're going to go at 11 to 12 and kill the session. After that, we're going to go right back to our normal 11 to 12 schedule until we hit 1,000 subs. If we hit 1,000 subscribers, then I'll do the next Wednesday, and I'll do every. Yep, I'm going to keep it on right here. Yeah, you can just stay. I'm not going to close the stream. I'll just keep it rolling. So and then we'll come right back live, right back into the same stream. So and then it should work really nicely. So hopefully, we'll see. This is my first time running production at the same time I'm running Alchemists. At the same time I'm trading ADHD full effect. Squirrel. I mean, only if I'm having a good hair day. Happy with my trade, especially cutting it before. Yeah, beautiful bit, man. You've been rocking, man. Good to hear you qualifying some accounts and getting your stuff going, man. Proud of you. Well done. So we are all kinds of short still. My favorite part of being short and being in a position is when you have to zoom out to see where your P&L is at. Let's go. All right, so we did break that new low. So now I feel really good about this decision. It's beautiful. It's been really awesome having me on for so much of the day. Thank you. I appreciate that. We were rocking a little over 100 people there for a little while. We've kind of throttled back a little bit, but that's good. I was really happy to see that many people came over because no one, very few people were probably even aware I was going to broadcast today. So, and most people already have places they're going for their morning information. So so thank you for coming. I'm just trailing the 50 now. So at this point, I'm just holding on to this thing till it comes through the 50. I'm just making money right now. I mean, we're just printing money. Thoughts on NQ? Apple, man. NQ is a little sloppy, but it's selling. So NQ looks like a short right now to me. We tried to buy this trend. We did a really poor job of it. We've now lost the trend offered, and we've started selling. I hit my goal to go back live in one. Yeah, Sam in the room for YouTube. He said he hit his goal to go back live in one morning with the cam system. Dude, it's beautiful, dude. God, I'm so stoked. If you're in Access Plus, you can get your it's in the pivots section, Daniel, down at the bottom. So let me show you real quick, and then I cut somebody off. My apologies. So you can see down here. Wow, that was a lot. Down here in the bottom, if you're an Access Plus member, there is right here we have the pivot bot calling. Now, the cool thing about the pivot bot calling is when the pivot bot calls, the pivot bot actually reads the buying and selling detector and tells you if you're in the right spot for it. It's not, we're sorting it, but just to kind of help improve, especially if you miss a call, you can go back and look and see if the BSD was working with it. And then we also have a commodity bot, which basically is just watching metals and stuff after hours. So metals and gases and stuff like that to see if any good setups are happening after hours. And then right here, you can talk to Bruz. So what was that? Who? Someone was saying something a second ago. I think it was maybe Bit. Yeah. No, I'm totally with you there. Thank you. Yeah, that's so Bit in our community for YouTube was saying, because I don't think they can hear you now. He was saying the best thing about the cams is just the fact that you don't have to have a massive pre-market prep. Like you basically can sit down, look at the cams, and in a second say, okay, we're high, we're low, it's wide, it's narrow. You can put together ideas really quickly without having to do a whole lot of speculation and investigation. That's true, Bit. Thank you, man. So I know you've been hitting some solid trades, man. Which service is it? One Stop Prop. Nice. Good for you. Good for you though, man. So already got your first payout, and you're probably getting your second one, and it's gonna be juicy. Okay. That's freaking awesome. Amazing. I don't have any that I'm affiliated with, and I think I probably need to change that. I guess. Well, yeah, the prop firm direction can be really handy for a couple of reasons too. So I like calling it, so you have like SIM, and then I consider like prop firms to be like a risk less environment. And I say it that way, not riskless, right? I'm saying risk less environment, right? So basically, like when you're in there, you know, you can put like $300 or $400 on some of them, and like I've heard like trade the pool, for example, is an equity prop, right? And you go and you give them like $300 or $400, or you know, and then you get to trade using their capital. And worst case scenario, if you screw something up, all you're doing is losing $300 or $400. Now, of course, if you blow up your account a lot, you keep re-signing up for $300 or $400 over and over again because you're a crazy trader, you can lose a crap load of money using these funded and prop services. But so you kind of, that's where they get you. Like, for instance, for those doing futures props, I think the reported profit on like Apex Trader or something like that last year was like $1 to 2 point something billion, right? That's a lot of money. That's a lot of resets. You know, that's a lot of initial signups and resets, right? To make that much money, because that's their only primary revenue stream is when you buy in, right? Or you have to reset. It's wild, right? How much money. I mean, geez. All right. So RTY is coming back up to H3. I'm still in the same spot. I'm above the 50 and above that level. So if it comes back up and tags the 50 and tags that level, we're gonna just call it an amazing day. Remember, my original target was just H4. So either way, I'm not really technically giving back money. So, but I mean, it looks like we're still selling, and we've still got more. I mean, we're kind of out of downside. We basically pinged right into ATR low, and then bounced. So, but I mean, yeah, I don't know. Probably don't expect much more downside here. Oh my gosh. Crude again. Let's. Woo! Oh, the line. Did anyone hit the line? Crap. Oh, I'm going to be upset. Dang it. We have this beautiful area marked on crude that I was watching. So it's, see this big wick right here? There's an order that they were struggling on. And look at all the wicks. Wop, 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 wick, wick. They bought, they rejected, they sold. And then wick, 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 wick. Like there was definitely something right there, right? So I marked that level. And then if you come over here, look at the wick. Oh my God. I love this game. But not when I don't get a trade off of it. But look at that. Shoink. So when I'm trading with cams, this is what I tend to look for. I look for an area or a range I expect to be in, and then I use a really key level. You know, I'll use my really key levels if it's a big one or a normal one. But you can go to the, you know, chart and find other key levels that you can play off of. So this is L6, lower narrow. You're very extended to the top side. So being short here is beautiful. And crude back under 100, huh? That's wild. Let's go. So I personally, with the gas station thing, I don't think they should be allowed to raise prices right now, because as I was under the impression, what we had ourselves kind of like a little bit of a like mini war, a skirmish or something going on. And I just think having prices going up while there's like conflict, you know, and then not dropping them when the prices go down, so sketchy. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I have a feeling we're speaking the same language right now. It's so true. MYM. I was already watching it as soon as I got it. Yeah. NVIDIA was wild. All right. How's our RTY doing? Are we still alive? No, RTY is kind of coming. NVIDIA? Ooh. Yeah. They are, right? They are. I think I'm going to have him on the YouTube sometime soon, now that I can bring people in. I think he'd be a fun guest to have on the YouTube, and everyone can talk to him about his trading style and all of that. I think that'd be a lot of fun. Oh, he does great. Yeah, he does good. It's beautiful. And the Access Trades, and he's actually on YouTube right now. I'm hanging out in the chat there, but his name's GP Trader. He's probably one of our better indicator users in the Access Plus. Like that guy, he's getting it together. I mean, I've talked to him personally. He's got some pretty solid credentialing too. He's a good trader, and he uses the CAM system like and the buying and selling detector. I mean, so it's really fun to watch. All right, so what do we think on RTY? Are we gassed out? I mean, we're still selling technically. We're still offering. So, but I just think I think we're tired. That's a lot of selling. Don't forget, everybody out there in the YouTube land, please like and subscribe. I really appreciate all of you coming by and hanging out with us this morning. It won't be every morning, but if we can get to 1,000 subs, I'll do it again next Wednesday. Basically, anytime we hit a major, I'll set benchmarks. And basically, anytime our community hits certain benchmarks, we will put more and more of us, for the behind the curtain for you to take a look at. This morning we had I had a lovely RTY trade from the pre-market or the early session. We were super extended on a higher, wider range. I found us starting to hit selling, high volume selling came in. So it took me a couple of stabs to get into this short. First high volume selling, then high volume exhaustion to the buyers. And then I finally got it when we capitulated. And then all I've been doing since then is just nothing. This is the hardest thing, by the way. How many folks on their YouTube? Throw me a number 1 to make sure you're still awake over on YouTube. How many of you would have partialed this or had not held this all the way down to here, right? This isn't a brag, by the way. Well, maybe a little, but it's small. Okay, whatever. I'm arrogant. Whatever. But you can see. But this is why I make money. I don't make money because I'm a perfect trader. I'm far from it. Actually, I run a. In this instance, this is a 3 trades. Only one of them worked. Right. So this is actually a low hit rate, right? Like 30-something% hit rate, 20. I'm not great at math, but I mean, it's a super low hit rate, not super low, but it's a low hit rate. But I'm making really good money on it. Why? Because once I was in, I'm just holding it and not doing anything. Oh my God. That's wow. Tesla recalls how many? 219,000, you say? Oh my God. There it is. Yeah, 1 hour ago, Tesla recalls nearly 219,000 U.S. vehicles, and we're rallying. Welcome to the U.S. stock market. I mean, welcome. If any of you, I swear, if you're doing your speculation on the market, on what you're reading in the sheets, oh, it recalls 2019, so get short, quick. Okay. Live and learn, buddy. The market does not care. Like, I mean, I don't know, man, but I mean, you could look, it's a lower, wider range, and we are at H3. So this is the spot I would look for a seller to hit pretty hard. But right now, we've swept the downside of L3, and we've bought, and we're still buying, and we haven't really exhausted. So for me, Tesla would not be a sell yet, but I mean, I wouldn't long it right now, but it's not a sell. If you're gonna sell or short, remember the main adage, right? If you don't, whenever you want to be a seller, you don't want to be the first one or the last, right? You want to wait till you see a seller. Like this was a seller here. We sold pretty well here, but look, we absorbed that. We had a lot of volume on a narrow candle. That's a very bullish sign, right? We came back and offered the 50, bought the 50, right? And now we're all the way up here. But for me to get short, really feel good about it, we'd need to lose the 50. Right, so this thing's going to need to find a seller. It's going to need to reoffer. It's going to chop around. This 50 is going to creep up here. But if it makes a new high of day after 10:30, we're not messing around here. It's going to be done. right? So we won't, I wouldn't recommend this for a short at all because it'll be above H3 and it'll lose its IB buff. Bullish book as well. Thank you. Yeah, Elias, when will stock futures be traded? It was supposed to be the end of May is when they said they were going to do it, but I have not seen confirmation one way or the other, or heard confirmation one way or the other. I mean, ATR low. All right, so you can see here we're getting our little bit of our bounce finally in RTY. We're still selling though. Like this is a very weak offer. Like I'm not really feeling this as a long right now. So I still like being short, but again, my target was H4. If it comes back above this level, I'm just going to get out and be happy with what I made. Yeah, exactly, Chris. Recall can be a misleading term, right? If it's just a software update, then no big deal. It just means people have to drive by the place and hang out for 15 minutes and attach to the Wi-Fi basically and get a download, right? So I mean, it's not really that big of a deal. So it's kind of it's some hot language, you know, but that's why you got to be really careful. Yeah. So oh yeah, that's true, Aaron. And some of those can be pushed remotely, right? So it might just be get on the Wi-Fi at your house, and but it's still a recall technically, right? Oh yeah, GP Trader says not even while the car sleeps in the garage, it gets fixed. So it's really not that big of a deal. While the car sleeps, I'm nervous. It's alive. What's YM doing? Wow. It's impressive. And I'm in the only one going down right now? Did I get short on the only ticker that's staying short? This is amazing. Yeah, get some. We're doing this thing. This is fun. I like your style. That's some hot talk there. That's some hot talk there, Mohammed. I like it. I don't care if I lose it. This is amazing. What's up, Humorous? Good to see you, buddy. All right, so we are just chilling. We're having a lot of trouble. You know, we're still on the sell, but we're you know, we're not really losing gas either. We're still steady, but the patterning's starting to look a little strong. So again, if we wick up and go through this order, it's cool. I'm so just gonna take the money and be so happy. Like original target was H4. I'm just trying to get a little bit more. Either way, I make like 4 G's on this thing. So we'll take that. So I'm going to stream for about 6 more minutes, Alien. And then what I'm going to do is I am going to actually, I'm going to put my Be Right Back Up sign on, and I'm going to take a 30-minute break, and I will just leave us on Be Right Back. And then we'll keep going. Dr. V is going to come back on from 11 to 12, and we're going to do a little brains day for everybody. So yeah, just hang out and we'll be doing that. I know what's going to happen here, by the way. It's going to wick up through the 50. It's going to come clear this freaking order and then sell back off. But it's okay. They can do that. If they really want to be mean, I'm okay with them being mean. But if it claims the 50 and buys that level, it's just too bullish now to stay in, for at least in the patterning. we're still reading a sell on the BSD. So I like this. Yeah, Benjamin. So kind of the evolution as you go through, right? In the beginning, like I said, it's really, or earlier, it's really important to stay with the systems, you know, because it's not like we did have calls that are working, right? So, but depending on how you go, as you get along a little bit further, you start to kind of like, again, this is absolutely a discretionary trade. It was taken in the earlier session, so it has to be. Right. And it took me a couple stabs to get into it too, but there was no level here. So I had to go after it a little bit. But like yesterday, I got a beautiful H4 breakout yesterday that went all the way and closed at all-time high. Right. So the trades are here, they're happening. So, and as a newer trader, I'd recommend leaning into those because they're going to be the highest quality ones. But yeah. Sweet. Man, GP, it was good to have you hanging with me, buddy. Oh, I have. That's fun. I can go breaking news. That's fun. Oh, I can see how many are watching here. I wish I could see the YouTube, the feed through here, and that would be then I could do everything here. Did Microsoft alert? Wow. It was a lower narrow. So no. There would be no play on Microsoft. But it is insane. Really large sell at the open. We then offered the low and we deviated. No volume on the offer. We then went into a rally and then you can see where we basically killed our shorts. We had people short in here all the way to about here. And look, when we came through that level right there, look how we switched into buying. Kapow! Right? And now we're buying heavily on the buying and selling detector. Wow. I mean, this is a ripper. We just made it to all-time our ATR high on Microsoft. So you maybe prepare for a mean reversion, but right now, look at this harmonious action here. All three moving averages, all spread apart like a fan, looking very, very upsloped and strong, not even a body close below the 9 moving average. This is an incredibly powerful ticker right now. All right, we offered the 50. And when we offered the 50, we didn't bring in buyers. So that's kind of a good sign for this pullback. We're still selling and we've offered the 50. So let's see if we can get some continuation here. Ooh, like that. Well, that was nice. Thank you for the instant response, RTY. Make me look smart. It's a hard job. I appreciate it. Wow. Yeah, let's go. NT, what are you doing, man? Oh gosh, here we go. Here we go. Things getting spicy overseas again. Oh yeah, inventories are at 10:30, right? Today. Look at that. We just reoffered the 4-hour 200 here. Wow. RTY. Okay. So now I feel really good about getting out of this level, right? So if it goes up and buys that now, I'm so happy to get out of this thing because now we've had a sell. But look, we're back into selling again. So this is what I'm talking about, the buying and selling detector. If you were thinking about this being a rally, you could see how during that entire pullback, right? I said, no, we're still selling. We're still selling, right? We're just offering right now. We pulled up into the 50. When we got to the 50, there was no response, and then bam, sell, right? But if this now buys the 50 and goes up, then we probably have about oversold, right? But right now, this doesn't seem exhaustive. It just seems heavy. So we'll see what happens. All right, YouTube. I am going to pause the session. I'll be gone for about 30 minutes, and then we will restart the show. So if anyone comes in and asks and says, hey, what's going? Just, feel free to let them know. I am going to, and I'm going to do that. Thank you so much for hanging out with me this morning. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and Dr. V and I will see you at 11. Talk to you soon, people. Hey, what's going on, everybody out on the YouTube? We have coming in now. Hey, what's going on, everybody out on the YouTube? Oh, echo. Echo, echo. All right, look, we're working. We've got Dr. V in the house. What's up, Dr. V? How are you doing?
Hey guys, it's been forever. I'm great. I just had a very tough workout this morning, so my legs are completely dead, and so
Oh my gosh,
my arms too. Like I'm dying. I'm so happy to be here. Welcome everyone.
welcome everybody. Good to see you all. So how was your? So you got crushed at the gym,
I did.
and then we did a little. Did you? How was your interaction with the market this morning?
My week is not, so I'm doing a small account challenge since it's going to be my third week this week. So basically I have a 20K account, and every week I'm trying to build it, and then I withdraw the money and go back to 20K. So I had 2 first solid weeks. I think I made like 1,800 the first week, and then I made 10, like around 9,000 last week.
Mm-hmm.
I had a beautiful trade. What was it again? Like gold? Yeah, I had a beautiful gold trade. So just that was like 7 grand. I had an amazing week. And this week I'm getting spanked. But who doesn't like a little spanking, right?
I mean, did you roll your eyes? Yeah.
I'm an obedient servant, in the market.
Yes,
in
yes,
the
sir.
market. So I mean, my week is not so great because I've been selling, no surprise, and the market is not selling. So what I had this week so far was a platinum short last Friday. I had a beautiful drop Sunday night. I was 3 grand in the money, but I had a bigger target for that trade, and it just messed with me like the whole 2 days I was in. And then I got out last night at break even. So I had a beautiful move, but then unfortunately it did not work. Then I had an M2K short since last week, so all-time high rejection. I was planning on, I think it was a 4R target, not crazy, but I had a wide stop. So that went and stopped me out yesterday. That was very brutal. And yesterday, I also tried a short on YM when it hit the 200 SMA and didn't work. So here I am, short gold again. So I had a nice short on gold this morning, came back, stopped me out at a new high. And now I'm still in because we couldn't make a new high and it's sketchy and the play is still valid. So if it doesn't work, I'm going to go at break even again. So that's it.
Wow, that's beautiful. I mean, we do have the infamous strong as shit market going on right now. You just can't slow it down. I mean, you can try and get in front of the freight train all you want. I'm going to show my screen for everybody. We were looking at this earlier today. And then Dr. V, at any point, if you want to share your screen,
yeah, of course.
we can do that too. But you can see here, we were above H6 on a higher, wider range on RTY this morning. I didn't have a level up here because there wasn't a level up here. We were making new all-time highs. We're just in the middle of nowhere. Hey, what's up? So as we started to show heavy selling and started losing our moving averages, it took me a couple of tries to get into this one, 3 actual total. But then when I finally got this thing, I got the top. So I ended up holding it all the way down through the open. And when we finally bounced and lost the 50 SMA, I went out when we regained this level after claiming the 50 SMA. So we lost our trend. So I'm out, but a really beautiful capture on this one, which I was really happy with.
No, that's perfect. Beautiful trade.
Thank you.
Yeah, maybe I can share my screen. So
yes, absolutely.
I mean, mine is less sexy. But
unlikely.
Trading is not always sexy, unfortunately. Okay, so here we go. Can you see it?
And you're up. Wow, I love this. It's smooth working. Sorry, I'm getting a little excited about the nerding that I'm doing right now.
All right, guys. So yes, somebody was saying, how are you achieving these results on a small account? So yes, I've been swing trading. So to make a long story short, in March, I had the biggest trade of my entire career.
Woo.
I had a $22,000 trade on RTY. I shorted 8 contracts in a day trade setup, and I held it overnight. And it didn't take like a long time to hit my target. So it took like maybe 5 hours, and I made $22,000, guys, on that trade. That was
Beast mode.
insane money, insane money. What happened after that is that the gains I would make, that the normal daily gains, like, 500 and 800, felt like I was not making money. And I found myself like being very, not nice to myself about that. Like, what are you doing? Like, you're not making money. What is going on? Like, I had like weird thoughts where it didn't feel good enough to make $500, which is amazing to make $500 on a trade, right?
Beyond amazing.
So I scared the crap out of me. Okay. And I said, okay, you lady has to go on a diet. I have to go on a diet because it's not okay. Like, the money, like, everything is possible in trading. And at some point you have to go back to reality a little bit. Okay. And I know reality can evolve as a trader, but I was way too far out. So I said, I'm going to take 20K from my account and I'm going to trade only that for as long as it takes. And I really like the idea of trading smaller and still making great money because you let the market do the hustle. I'm not saying it's easier though, okay? Because I'm letting the market do the hustle. Like, I'm freer, but still not free, right? Because trading is hard. We just have to choose our hard.
Choose our hard. I love that.
I mean, it's difficult, right? But I like the idea of being in a trade and just letting the trade go a little longer so I can really, really make the best with my money. So for example, my gold trade, I posted that on my Instagram. My gold trade was a $252 risk and I made $6,700 on it. A 26 hours trade. But of course I had to wait 7 days for it. But it's awesome. So for 7 days, I didn't have to take a setup. I was in gold. I was sitting there. I was sparked and I was waiting. But don't get me wrong. It was for like 3 days in a row, like just chopping so close to my target, just not going there, like breaking my trend, coming back inside the trend, like just back and forth. So that was hard, but that's how you do it. You swing trade small position like that. Yeah.
So you would say like mostly right now you're really more swing trading, right, than technical day trading, but you enter your swing trades almost like a day trader would enter a day trade. So it's really cool how you're doing that and getting like really awesome RVRs.
But everybody, like whatever is your time frame, everybody is a day trader at some point. So yes, when I take my entry, I want the best entry in the day trading setup. But then I'm waiting for a bigger target based on the higher time frame. But it's it's the same. It's just the candles are 1 hour candles instead of being a 1 minute candle. And I found that it's really, really amazing. I mean, should I talk about my crude?
Oh yeah. Talk about it all.
Oh my God, people. Let's look at CL. Can we see it? I don't think we can see it. So crude, I don't think I will find it. There's too many candles since then. I had a beautiful trend break on crude at some point. I think it was this guy right here. Yeah, that guy here. Okay, guys? This guy right here was a trend break on crude oil. Okay, I was in because it was breaking my downtrend that I had marked there. It's very therapeutic for me to talk about it. So, you know, sorry for people who have heard about it.
I need some therapy.
Okay, so that was my trend. Like this. Okay, kind of. That was my guy telling me that we are breaking trend. This is a 1 hour chart. Sometimes I use the 4 hour, but for me at that moment, the 1 hour was giving me more context. And especially because of this movement. Okay, so I really prefer to use the 1 hour for that trade. I had a trend break right here. I went ahead and bought here, and my stop was at the low. And what I really liked about that setup is that we were making a triple bottom, but here what was different is that we were close. I mean, the wick was higher, so we were making our first higher low basically. So I really like that setup. So my stop was below this guy here. And what happened is that when I saw that bullish candle, I went ahead and moved my stop at break even-ish, so below that green candle here. So soon, okay? Because this is not a real pullback, right? So I moved my stop at break even. And then look, are you ready, guys? My risk was $65. I had one micro contract, okay? $65. What? So this trade with one micro now here, okay, would have been like a 10 grand trade. I'm not kidding. For $65. Okay, of course, I would have exited earlier. My target was the 200 SMA, but it was still a beautiful trade. I think it was a 7-hour trade. But just like because of that mistake, the behavioral slippage, like, come on, what was I thinking? I think it's because I was managing 2 swings at the time, and I got like, I don't know what I got. Like it still hurts till this day. So thank you so much for listening to me on this because it hurts.
We're having our own Traders Anonymous right now, which we do every Thursday inside of our community. But Dr. V can't wait for Traders Anonymous today. This has to come out now.
I mean, it's been going.
But I mean, it is true though. Like one of the issues in trading, it's sometimes as a trader, it's not that you don't make money because you're not like getting good entries, right? Sometimes you're not making money because of situations like this. It's not the money you lost, it's just the money you never made, right? Where there's these moments where you have this opportunity, and because of some variation in decision, you let it go. And I think you have it's a perfect example that and it's so, it's always generous of you to share these moments like this, because most people on these channels, they just want to share the good, right? But we don't, right? We as we said yesterday in our session, new t-shirt coming for We Suffer Together.
Yes, we suffer together.
So it works there. So we actually have 121 watching right now. So good to see everybody.
Awesome.
So happy to have you with us. I did want to take a moment and just say welcome home. We have Dr. V and the Market Alchemists here with myself, our community we've co-founded, and we're really excited to start bringing you more and more material. I've just posted a new video this morning at 8 a.m. on market making. Hope you all will enjoy that. But on Wednesdays now, we have Dr. V back with us for our Brains Days. So make sure you put it on your calendar. If you're going to make any day, I know it's going to be this one. It's okay. But I agree with you. So just think, how often do you get to hang out with a PhD neuroscientist, right, who is a trained trader, who also is a psychologist practicing in Canada, right? I mean, you're not going to happen. Right. So good luck finding one. Guess what? You have good luck. You found one. So anyway, to you.
The PhD is still training for the markets, because that is something else. When you've been successful in so many things in your life before, and then you meet trading and you think it's going to be the same, you just have to learn everything and it's going to go well. well, we are being humbled, right?
Yeah, it's true. And as pointed out in the chat earlier, you know, I'm the only non-doctor in Market Alchemists, which I didn't know if that was appropriate, but whatever, you know, we won't, just kidding.
Dr. Pivot?
Yeah, doctor, yeah, honorary title. It's an honorary doctorate. No, non-earned.
I just want to answer some questions. So about the moving the stop at break even too soon. What you want to do, guys, okay? And that's what I don't like, because it's not something that it was really like, I don't know what I was thinking. The way I do this, okay, because I had that level. And what you want to do is when the price is pulling back, making a new high, especially at a key level, okay? Because if we are trending up, it means that we ebb and flow with higher highs and higher lows. It's just market structure 101, nothing complicated there, okay? If we go up, we are climbing the stairs up. But really here, that was not a stair. I think I got excited with the bullish candle, which is very like a rookie mistake. But that's okay. It's not perfect. Sometimes we mess up, and that's all right. We have to learn from it. So when this candle is telling me a story, this one is not telling me a story. So this candle is telling me we are going higher with a lot of conviction in the direction we are in, because this candle is a full body, no wick, bullish candle going through a key level. So this one has a story to tell. So my stop should now move below that pullback, because this is looking more like a real pullback, because we're making a higher high above the level. All right. So I was too early on this one. And really, I got out like by a few ticks. Like it was so brutal. Like this one. Stopped, like, look at the wick. Like it stopped me out like from like nothing. Right. So you move your stop with the staircase. Don't be too soon. Wait for a very like obvious pullback. It needs to be visual. Like, okay, that's a pullback. You were trying to say something?
Nope. Just commenting on your awesome analysis, and the room is loving it. ATX, amazing content. Thank you so much for saying that. We appreciate you.
Yes, thank you so much. Like, ask me anything, psychology, technical analysis. So the way I trade is very simple, because I personally get overwhelmed very easily. So what happened in my journey, and I'm building a curriculum to work with traders, because I want you guys to have a roadmap. You know, when you start trading, nobody teaches us how it's going to work, how the journey will look like. We just learn that we have to choose a strategy and execute the strategy, but nobody tells us at the brain level, how do I get my brain to catch up? Because the brain doesn't want us to do that. It's counterintuitive in every way. So because your brain doesn't want you to trade, please don't be too hard on yourself when you suck at this, because we all do. But then we have to find ways to make the brain okay with it. But it takes time and patience. And 90% of people don't have that. We want to make money. We want to make money now. We want to add to our positions. We want to trade the full E-mini contract. We are comparing ourselves with others, okay? And we are sabotaging all our efforts, okay? So the first thing we have to know is, okay, it's going to be impossible to do that. So how can I train the right way to be one step at a time more able to do this, to suck less day after day after day, basically. So why I didn't re-enter? Because I was watching gold And it's a great question. Okay, I just stopped looking at it with you know, I sometimes do that. So when I get stopped out, I just stop looking at it. And
I think too, you were saying about you had multiple positions at the same time. So I think when it was out, I imagine you were probably just like, okay, one position. I'm just going to focus and do my thing.
And the way that made me feel, I felt like I was happy with my execution in entering the trade because I was following all my rules. I have a very simple system. So I was happy with entering the trade, with seeing the trend break. Okay, I was happy about that. And then I was not happy. I felt like disappointed, I guess I would say, because I know better. I should know better. But again, I need to remember to remind myself that I am not perfect in any way, and no trader is. And I also want to show the world, we are doing this paradigm shift where we're trying to bring simplicity in the trading world, but I also want to bring authenticity to the trading world.
Exactly.
So having like one arrow to enter, one arrow to exit, and like having the cleanest charts, it's suspicious. Okay, it's scary. It's like when people are too clean, it's like,
yeah, like, what's going on here?
The reality is that trading is so messy. Okay, we get our hands full of shit almost every week. But do remember this, flowers and vegetables grow in shit.
That's right.
So there you go. So we need some shit.
For sure.
We need to make something good with the shit though. Okay?
Absolutely. And I think you really just demonstrate really well. And I think for a lot of people, the mindset is so important. And then I think that's what you show more than anything else, because she shares when she gets these stops, she's sharing them in our community and all of those things. And it's all about that authenticity. And I really think that's with the paradigm shift. That is what Dr. V brings to us in a way that I think nobody does. Just this no filter authenticity. I'm going to wear a Metallica t-shirt and we're going to get up here and we're going to rock out. Right. And I think that's, amazingness. And just to answer you Market Alchemists is a new community. Well, it's actually not brand new, but it's a few months, but it's a new community that Dr. V and I have founded ourselves. So it is just us. We're no longer affiliated with any other entity. So if you want to work with us, you want to get mentoring, you want live trading, you can just come right to Market Alchemists and we'll take good care of you. We like to say welcome home, because what we're trying to do is we're not just trying to create a community that trades together. We're trying to create a community that suffers together. Like we really work hard and inspire and try to make each other better people. And then on top of that, becoming better traders. So, and no other community has a Dr. V, sitting at the helm, steering us in the direction that we're going on. And we are going to shift the retail paradigm, I think, and really bring real sustainable trading behavior to as many people as we can.
Yeah, we want simplicity. Trading is, can be so complex, yet it doesn't have to. It doesn't have to. You just have to pick the best party places and you wait for them. And then when you are at the party, you just enter the party with a stop loss. And then you have a target, a reasonable target. If we're trying to find trades, it's not working. If you're still struggling, I'm pretty sure you're still doing too much. You're trying to be everything. You're trying to know everything. And also I don't know the word in English. I swear I know it in French, but not in English. The trap. I think that there's so many traps, but one of the biggest trap is to try to find certainty in the markets. Even if at the conscious level, we're like, no, I know it's uncertain. I know that I will never know what will happen next and I shouldn't care. And I know, and still, I find people that are still trying to be certain before taking a trade. or certain when they draw a level or when they draw a trend line? Or why is the market moving like that? Oh, I read some news, so apparently they're going to do this and this and this and that, and then crude, and then blah, 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 blah. What is the chart telling you? That's the only thing you have to listen to. So we're looking at Bitcoin right now, micro. What is micro Bitcoin is telling us right now in this view? No, it was not the word. What is that? It's a whore in French. Putain is a whore. So
Yeah.
no, whore.
I was really hoping you were trying to say Putin, which I thought would have been better.
It's like a whore. But I mean, I cuss a lot, but I don't use that word. So what are you seeing now? What is the chart telling you right now? LOL. Well, okay, you're all shy. So this this chart of microbit, yes, exactly, FOMO. I love your name, by the way. It's very therapeutic. Okay, so this chart is telling us that we are uptrending right here in this view. Okay, I'm on the 1 hour chart. We're uptrending. So the way you want to draw a trend line, so we have a double bottom here. So I'm going to pick this low because after they made this low, they started going up. So I'm going to use the Ray tool in TradingView. And then I'm going to connect as many candles as possible. And I think I like this one right here. Okay, so very simple. We're trying to grab the pullbacks that are making a new high because it's an uptrend. So you grab the pullbacks, making a new high, and then you project the line. So we have the first touch here with the ray, and then I put my ray right here, and then it continues in this angle. Okay, and not surprisingly, when microbit hit the trend this morning, it found a bounce spot because the trend is your friend, right? Like the levels also. A support is a support until it's not. But the first job of a support is to keep the price up. Like an uptrend, first job is to keep the price up. And a resistance keeps the price down. Very simple. Okay? So that's how I draw trend lines. Then we have a very obvious level right here. So if you find yourself like struggling at identifying levels, pick the most obvious one. What I mean by that is that they went high and they said, that's it, twice. Same price level. It's a very powerful level. Also, we have something like this. Okay, pull back, went down, made a lower high, lower low. So we broke structure here. It's an important price level. All right. Also, I read in a technical analysis book that you can also, if you're struggling to draw trend lines, you could start with the recent price action in the opposite way like this. So you can do it from the other side as well. YM is beautiful. YM is so beautiful. So yes, I love this level. So for me, it's a short setup with the stop at the high. Again, we're not calling trades here, but I'm just saying that because that's a level that every time that we hit it, it's a resistance. So the price is being kept down. Also, what I really like about this is that we tried to go higher. Okay, this candle has to close. Okay, it's 30 minutes until this one closes, but it's telling us a lot of psychology here. Okay, so if we cannot make a new high above this one, it's not strong. So your stop is at the high, and then depending on how this one closes, we can have a short setup going back to trend or PDC right here. But yeah, that's a beautiful level. So 50.043 is the level. So look how mean that is. Okay, that's why I'm saying trading is messy, and you might not always have one arrow to enter and one arrow to exit, because here you got spanked real hard. Okay? If your stop was above this wick right here, spanking action. Okay? So in this case, the stop was this one, the last high above the level. But again, your stop being there is totally fine. Okay? It's just that we need to be ready for them to mess with us, because their job is to take our money. So how do we take money from people? We fake them. Oh no, we're not ready yet. Now we're ready, we're ready. Guess what? We have to say, okay, master, I follow you.
Obey the master.
Yeah. So a trend line is started by 2 touch points and is trusted with 3 touch points. That's what the literature is saying. And everything I'm talking about lines, about trend lines, I've read it in old school technical analysis books. I also read The Turtle Traders. It's a story also. It's not just about trading, but The Turtle Traders. I've always been very attracted to old school trading. And thinking of Jesse Livermore with his ruler in the newspaper is so hot, right? That's very powerful. They didn't have the MACD or like the VWAP, or they just had like lines. And these lines saved my butt. Like, I'm so grateful for these lines, guys. Like,
and they've been used for such a long time that these lines are ingrained into the DNA of the market at this point, right? Because you got to think that if they were using these lines 30, 40 years ago and establishing levels off of 30, 40 years ago, I mean, we have to have that in the market's DNA now, you know?
I mean, they work. There's nothing else to it. They work. I mean, everything works. Okay, every indicator works. It's just that you need to find something that fits you. Okay, nothing is better than. I mean, you can also just trade the 200 SMA on a higher time frame. That could be just what you trade. So you had a beautiful trade long on YM. Okay, you had a short here. It didn't last long, but you had a short. I mean, whatever you choose, make sure that it's simple enough for you to know the rules. When am I in, and when I need to exit, and where is my stop? But yeah, old school stuff, I guess.
Yeah, old school stuff works. And I mean, I think the older, we always look for some new like invention to really get us to the money. And I was actually watching a TV show the other day. It was like some guy was like gold panning, and because I was trying to fall asleep late and I'm just watching the show, and the guy comes up there and there's a guy next to him with this really sophisticated piece of equipment, and he's just sitting there with an old school gold pan, and he's pulling out more gold than the guy with like the big coolest thing. And he's just like, dude, they've been doing this since like the 20s and the 30s and the 40s. He's like, this is how you do it. And so it's kind of one of those things that sometimes you don't need something crazy and complex and layered and all this stuff. Like, you need a line, you need an average, you need a cam call, you know what I mean? You just need a signal and then evaluate that on whether or not it's good enough. But I think a lot of the times we do poorly, V, it's because we're really trying to take something that can be kind of simple, and we try and put so much in there. It just makes it complicated.
Because we're looking for certainty.
Yeah.
We're like, no, like this level cannot work on its own. Like, it's not possible. It's so scary. Like, one line will dictate my trading today. Well, yes. On YM, you had 3 trades from this level. You had one line for 3 good trades. RTY last week or 2 weeks ago, I had 4 trades from the same level. Each time the price went there, guess who was there to short it? I was. It's a beautiful level. It works every time.
Yes,
So
he's
I
back.
think, yeah, I guess who's back. But I think it's another, natural way of thinking that we bring in the markets is that, no, it's not possible it will work again. You know, oh, it's been like 3 touches. Like, no, it's not it's going to work. And then we put all these thoughts, you know, like we think we know more and that it should make sense, and nothing makes sense. Okay, please forget about making sense. You just execute like you have no brain. No brain. You just need your brain for putting a plan together and journaling. In between, you just click a mouse like a monkey. That's it.
There it is.
Monkey. And I want to go back on the Turtle Traders because you need to read that book. It's beautiful. You can have it on audiobook as well. It was so inspiring to read that story. And again, these people, I mean, I have so much respect. They were swing trading from a daily moving average cross. Up or down. They were long when the 3 moving averages were crossing and short when they were crossing down. And they kept doing the same thing forever. And these guys had a win rate of 20 to 30%. It's brutal. And yet they kept coming back at it and executing the same way, even if they had 7 losing trades in a row. I mean, who can do that? You know? So, I mean, that just shows. But when they got the trade, though, it was a trend trade. And trends can last for a very long time. So, I'm just saying, find your style. If you're too impatient, go for a 2-to-1, more like a scalping mindset. If you're an overtrader, take fewer trades, but let them sit longer, maybe swing trading. I mean, with futures, the markets are open 23 hours a day. So you can be executed 23 hours a day. So keep that in mind. The stock market, it's not the same thing. You have to close your position before 4. Here, it's a different journey. But yeah, look at this beautiful trade. And I'm not in this, which hurts. Because I saw this one and I was like, no, I missed that. And now I'm missing it again. That's okay.
We suffer together.
Let's go, gold. You can do this. So now I'm $600, almost 700 in the money, 703. Let's go. So my stop is break even-ish. So meaning that if we make a new high after this one, I'm out. And my target is the 200 SMA and the 46.35 level. So why am I short again? So I shorted this morning at the top, kind of, because what goes up has to come down. And at some point, I mean, we need some retracement. So I picked kind of the top right. As soon as I saw weakness, I entered in this 1 hour candle. And then my stop was above the new high here. So if gold was making a new high, I was out of my trade. So I made about like $500 on that trade. And then when I saw that we could not make a new high, okay, this doji is saying a lot right now. Because if we are very strong and very explosive, this should be the pullback. And with a pullback, we should see a higher high. Or at least kind of a double top. But we did not see that. Okay, we tried to take this high and we closed under the high of the previous candle, as you can see right here. Okay, that was the high of the candle. That's why my stop is there as well. So of course, this is not a bearish candle to me because we close green. So be careful with this doji. When they close green, they can be bullish. Okay, so that's why I was more cautious and I put my stop right here when I
I
saw.
love the volume on that doji, though. For us volume traders, you had all of that volume, almost the same amount of volume that created the engulfing before it, but it went nowhere. So I really like the absorption there. That looks really, I'm in. I think that looks fun.
I mean, we'll see what the market wants to give me, but I think it would be a nice pullback. Also, if we want to like trust the trend break, okay, if we want to trust the trend break, we need to come back to test the trend. It's the best entries. Okay, again, it's like a breakout. When you buy a breakout, you buy the retest of the breakout. And here it's a trend break. So for me, an beautiful trade would be to long when we go back on this trend and hold on the other side of the downtrend, because my stop is so tight right here. It's like right here, my stop. Because if we go and close inside of the two lines, it's not a long anymore. You see what I mean?
Great entry.
I mean, I just listened to the chart and the chart is telling me, well, we're not making a new high basically. So why not? My job is to be a trader. I need to take trades when it makes sense. So I had to take it again. And I was risking the amount I made on the first trade. So it's not a big deal. If we look at the daily chart, okay, so we see that we are breaking this trend, right? But the pullback is the best. And I'm watching this other trend line, like, ooh, I'm so ready for that one. So if we are bullish, if we pull back and then hold and then go, that's the next target. And it's a great trade here, potential. It's beautiful. And that is so for gold, I really had the plan to go back to this uptrend. I really thought we could go and make another touch on it, but apparently we want to go higher sooner. Yeah. So that's my story on gold. My target is 46.35. Yeah. Right here. Let's go. But I don't know when and I don't know how. I would prefer that gold goes in a straight line, in one candle, please.
Yes, please.
I mean, we can ask, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Why not?
So I don't use the cams. I will use the way I use the cams, if I use them, is knowing it's for a day trading setup, not for a swing trade, obviously. And it's gonna be for telling me, are we in a wide range today or are we in a breakout potential range today, basically. Because if I know that we are narrow, I have a higher probability of my trade going further away, like having a bigger trade, meaning that we will break important levels. And if I have a wide range, I know that, you know, my move is more like contained for the day, basically.
Perfect. So I think that's a really important part of the cams for those of you who use the cams, right? The higher versus the lower part is by far the least important of the part, right? Because if news comes out, anything comes in, it really just doesn't matter that we closed lower. But like today, my trade on RTY today, although it was from above H6 and it was in the pre-market, the trade itself was engineered because we were making new all-time highs above H6 on a very wide cam range, right? So I expected to close or come back inside on RTY, which is, you know, why I got such a move. And just for those of you who haven't seen it real quick, I'll show you real quick what I ended up doing. So you can see here in the pre-market, RTY was just ripping to the top side, and it had gotten above H6. And when it did it started finding really big sells up there. Now I didn't have a level to hit this off of, so I was using volume up here. So it took me, and volume without a level is going to be a lot sloppier, right? So I could tell we were getting selling in, but finding where it was coming from took a little while. But once I finally got in, right, I just held, right? So we came all the way down here. My original target was H4, but we were selling so well on the buying and selling detector, I decided to go ahead and hold more. So I extended I went down actually for a movement all the way to previous day's close. And then when we bounced right near ATR low and came back up and crossed the 50, I got out because I was trailing the 50 more or less with a little room, because as Dr. V will teach you, you don't want to get too close to the trend line, because they're just going to come up here or to a moving average or a trend line, because they're going to come up there and wick it.
I mean,
just to
in
piss you off.
life in general,
Right?
don't get too close.
Right? Don't get too close. So, but then I got out once it rebought this low here and then it crossed the 50. That was enough for me, especially since I had already moved past my target. So, but that's kind of,
That's so sexy. I mean, guys, that is wonderful. It's a beautiful trade.
thank you so much.
It looks so much nicer on the 1 minute chart. When I look at my trades on the 1 hour chart, it's not sexy like that. There's like 4 candles. Like this looks like a huge move. Look at mine. It's like, hi.
So, exactly. So for the range calculation, Ivan, basically it's just about expansion or not. So if we moved outside of the previous day's highs and lows, we're going to have a wider range the next day. It's not too complicated. If we stay inside of it, we will narrow. And you can actually go from wider ranges to even wider ranges, or narrow to narrower to narrowest, right? They can keep getting smaller. If in the 2-day relationship, if you did not hit the highs and lows or hit our ATRs on the highs and lows, we're going to narrow the next day.
Look at my trade on the 1 minute chart.
I mean, see, this is why I like the 1 minute. It's beautiful. On the 1 minute, it's like, yeah.
And rejecting the 200 now on the 1 minute.
So good.
So good.
Some good volume there too. Mm-hmm.
Let's go.
Getting under trend under the 200 after, a little bit of a movement above it. I mean, this could be a good time.
I mean, the 1 minute freaks me out. It's not for me. Like, you have to taste all the flavors, guys, to find your flavor. And 1 minute chart for me is like, oh my God, another candle. Oh my God, it's pulling back. Oh my God.
It's so wild for me because the 1 minute chart is almost slow for me these days. It's like, okay, can this minute just close already so I can make a decision? Like, so it's so funny. I've gotten so tuned to this chart. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you trade what's comfortable for you.
Mm-hmm. Choose your hard, right?
Choose your hard, yeah.
So I like where your target's at on this one, like 200. Like, let's.
That would be great. That would be, I mean, yeah. That would be a great spot to buy. Hey, Benjamin. How do we trail stop loss? So that is a tricky business. So if you are a beginner, I would say that you leave your bracket on, like you would bake a cake. Mm-hmm. Okay, you do your recipe. You put the cake in the oven and you just don't touch it, because and it's also a stage, okay, from the trader's curriculum. There is a stage, and it's taking a long time, where we need to be purely scientists, meaning that every trade we take has to be the same criteria, the same time frame, the same rules, the same risk management, everything, okay? Because we're really trying to find out if we have an edge or not in these markets. So if you keep trading like you want to make money in that stage, it's going to take you much more time. You're going to waste your time. I know you're eager to make money, you're impatient, but that stage is a very crucial one. So then you put your bracket on, and after 20, 40, 100 trades, you assess your system.
Mm-hmm.
Is it good enough? Because what happens if you go in a drawdown where you lose 20 trades in a row? Does it mean that your system doesn't work? Or maybe the market is a pain in the ass, So it's really, an edge is like the casino, right? They don't win every time. But when they do, I mean, they make so much money, but they lose from time to time, right? That's the thing. So we have to be prepared for losing, but we need to know in a big sample, how many trades do I lose? How many trades do I win? And when I win, how much I make? When I lose, how much I lose? And then it will balance itself out. And you will find out if you can make money using that system.
This is exactly what I did during my development, V. I started off where I was just going for like 2-to-1s, 3-to-1s, and partialing. And then eventually I kind of switched to more like 3-to-1s, then 4-to-1s. And as my data showed I could get more, I started going for more. So, but I've always appreciated your clinical approach, if you will, like to going through data and making sure we have that. And I agree with you 100% there.
But it's not, that part is not the clinical part. This part is the science part.
Science part, that's what I meant.
So I published as a first author 107 papers, and as a co-author 300 plus scientific papers. Okay, so there's a method to do science. There's a method to write a scientific paper, and it's always about simplicity because it's so powerful. And then how can you have your recipe so clean that you know that nothing else can explain the results? Because let's say I want to test a pill to cure Alzheimer's, and I take people that are 65, people that are 30, people that have a different brain damage, people that I will never know if my medication works for Alzheimer's. So, and that is the part that you have to be very disciplined, is every single day go in and do as you should. It's not about making money. It's about showing your brain that you can do it, that your brain can trust you. And if the brain can trust you, it will relax and leave the survival mode that it's been on. If you keep messing up your rules, the brain stays in survival mode, and also you're wasting your time not collecting the right data. So if you want to trade that VWAP strategy, trade the VWAP strategy for 100 trades. The same way. And then you assess. And people are like, yeah, but it's taking so much time. And really? Like, are you going to complain that you will dedicate 3 years to make easy money? It's the hardest way to make easy money, right?
For real.
So we have to take the time, and it's going to take 3 to 5 years of deliberate practice the right way before you see the results you want to see, like it or not.
So
on
true.
average.
I don't know why there's an expectation otherwise, really. Like, if you're going to go become like a lawyer or a doctor or a school teacher, like, no one expects to get that job and start making its full earning potential within like 3 months. Like, I just don't know where this I don't know, maybe like mismarketing of what day trading is in the beginning. So I think it set us all up. I know I had them. So I think we all come in with this almost false expectation that, you know, you're going to instantly own the casino in 5 seconds as soon as you start doing this thing. And then you realize, no, the casino is going to own you for like 3 or 4 years. And if you get your crap together, you can make some money from the casino. But until then, I mean, just don't have like wild expectations on that kind of thing. Be okay with the process. It's fun. Like, enjoy it. Like, learn the trade, enjoy the market, learn about it, and then keep things simple.
Learn about
naked charts, keep it clean.
Yeah, and learn about yourself. Okay, learning about the markets doesn't take long. Okay, you read a couple of books on technical analysis, you're good to go. But learning about yourself, that's the real job. And nobody talks about that on YouTube. They all show their car that they bought, their lifestyle, the profits they're making. I mean, yeah. It's not the way it is. And when you see people making 40 grand in a trade, shorting or buying 20 full E-minis, that's a different story. You cannot compare yourself with that. And that's also why I did the small account challenge, because I want to show that it's possible to make good money trading small.
Mm-hmm. And that'll translate, right? Like my RTY trade was 2 contracts and made a really nice return on it. But I didn't have to take 20 contracts to make, I mean, you see that a lot out there. It's very, oof. I mean, and for my risk management, it terrifies me sometimes to see some of those positions. They manage them well. They do great. But for me, I like, giving it a little breathing room and just hanging out. That's the hard that I think I choose. I'm much better at taking a smaller position and just holding it throughout the day, kind of like an intraday swing. Once I get in, I'm happy just to hang on to it and see what happens.
Yeah, same for me. I think it messes with our psychology when we're too sized in. We need to size in again, like an uptrend, like in a staircase fashion. So maybe next year you're going to trade 4 RTYs instead of 2 in the same setup, but we go slowly because we need the brain to catch up. And that's also something about when I was saying, like, take your time. You have no choice because your brain won't be ready in a year. I mean, sometimes with prodigy people, it can happen. Like, people are just underway after 1 year and they're amazing. But I'm sure these people are young people living in their parents',
and they probably got a bunch of money like that they were able to come in with.
Also,
I mean,
they
you
don't
can
have
do
to
amazing things. If you've got some money in there, if you come straight in with a $300,000 account, you don't care if you lose or not, and take some big sketchy trades, you can make some big sketchy money pretty fast.
Exactly. And see your losses like as a business expense. So yesterday I posted in our community, like, I lost my M2K, so it cost me $500. Then I had a break even on platinum, so I did not make money, but I'm owning a company. So it's impossible for me to make money every day, and it's impossible for me to keep all of it. That's also something we have to remember. Like, it's not because you made 20 grand today that at the end of the month you will end up with more than 20 grand. Okay, today I made that, but what about the rest of the month? Okay, so we need to keep the same balance as we would in a normal business. Every business has great days and suck days. It is what it is. It's about balance.
Well, speaking of balance, we're getting a little bit more downward movement on gold here. So
I know, it's so nice to me so far.
So we have a couple of minutes left till we're going to wrap our session at noon, everybody. I hope you all have been enjoying having the illustrious Dr. V back on Wednesdays with us. It's, again, I know I brag on her a lot and it makes her very uncomfortable, which is why I do it. But there is no place out there. If you find it, have fun. I mean, I'm glad for you, but to have this kind of expertise, on someone who can actually trade and talk about performance in an educated way, it's hard to find. So make sure you're liked, make sure you're subscribed, and make sure Wednesdays are on your calendar, because we're going to have our Brains Days on Wednesdays. And then for everyone else, I'm very appreciative. We're only about 80 people away from breaking 1,000 subscribers. So if we can get over 1,000 subscribers, my reward will be is we will stream another morning session out, like we did today. So we're dangling the carrot. That's right, people. You got to work for it. But if you want to see more of the lives, then help us hit our benchmarks, help spread this community out there so we can really work together to change the paradigm of trading. Take all of that crazy stuff that we learned in the beginning of this thing and say, oh, wait, maybe it should be this way.
So you talk about me every day, apparently. Oh my God. So
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Don't put too much expectations, because then I have to perform. Like, I'm gonna have so much pressure.
I'm not, but there's no pressure because you do it. You're gonna do it. So, but I mean, number one fan, obviously, right? So,
guys, I need a topic for next week. What do you want to talk about? Send me ideas.
Yeah, how about a couple of ideas here before we cut? What if there was a topic you'd like Dr. V to cover next Wednesday? She can talk up a little bit. What would that be? Anything you want.
And please light a candle for my gold trade. Maybe
For sure. I mean, we just closed and we're now making a new. We just closed the hour and we're immediately making new lows. So.
So I have an idea.
Handling losses.
Yeah, I don't see my DM in MA. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't see any handling losses. Oh, that's a great. Yeah, if I cuss too much, you have to tell me. But I was not that bad
Happening
today.
No, you're amazing, and I've heard from someone very credible that only really smart people cuss.
So there you go. I'm very smart then.
So you're extra smart. Tips on controlling our emotions when we are not trading. So like waiting to take a trade, maybe.
Okay, I'm gonna take the first one that came in. So handling losses.
Handling losses.
Can you be more specific? Just a little bit more specific, maybe with your personal experience. That would be not widening stuff. I love you guys. I love you so much. Please follow us. We're gonna save you like so many painful scenarios. I swear, like I wish I had somebody telling me all that I've been through right now in a raw and uncensored way. Okay, so the exercise I would do after taking a loss, you just go to the gym. Go to the fucking gym. Okay,
go to the gym.
Yeah.
Hey,
you stand up from your desk and you go do something, and the gym is amazing for that.
You know what else is amazing? Sell gold, sell. Let's go. So we must have lit that candle. All right, everybody, it is afternoon and we are going to call this session, and I really appreciate you all. Thank you so much. If you want to talk cams, come back tomorrow. We can do that there and not do that. So I will see everybody on tomorrow at 11. I really hope everyone had fun seeing behind the curtain in this episode to see how we do our mornings at Market Alchemists. If you need anything, you can find us on our social medias. We have Dr. V is the Conscious Edge _ on Instagram. Mine is @ThorYoungMA. You can also find us on X, although Dr. V doesn't check hers. Mine is so called out @ThorYoung. And for me, Dr. V's is Dr. Charland. And then, of course, our website at www.marketalchemists.org. So I hope you all have an amazing day. Dr. V, you were awesome. Thank you so much for hanging today.
Thank you, guys. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.